could be with anyone, you're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around for
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Boom! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about. Now, historically, or at least in the most recent lives, we talked about Kody's appearance on the show Special Forces, where he gets to go out and get on a reality show version of fake ass G.I. Joe. And then we go, oh, wow, Kody's an American hero. He did the reality show where basically, if you don't feel like doing something, if it gets too hot, too cold, if the temperature comes, if the wind blows too hard, if you got to poop, then you can go home and take a dump in your own house at any time. And you can pretend like it's actually, we're going to show you what it's really like to be part of Special Forces. You don't even know what it's like to be in a regular service, much less the Special Forces. That's not how the shit works. You don't get to decide that you don't want to do this no more. This shit is bullshit. I'm getting out of here. This is crazy. I don't understand what's going on. That's not how it works. So we talked about that, right? And I've given my opinion on it. And you know what? In all fairness, somebody had mentioned it, and I probably will watch this show, not just for Kody, but for the other people, because I am familiar with a few of the people that's on the show. And I want to give my opinion about those fools. And when push comes down to shove, they shouldn't call this shit Special Forces. Pardon my French. I've been dropping the S-bomb a little bit, been peppering it in heavy, right? Making it too spicy. But when push comes down to shove, let's call it what it is. This isn't the Special Force. This is basically the last ditch of reality show. These are people who have been on reality shows historically, been on teams, those careers that they were in previously that led them to fame, fortune, and an excessive bank account. Those careers are now over. And so they get on Special Forces. This is like another version of Dancing with the Stars or Love Boat. You go onto these types of shows because you're trying to create a buzz around your name. You want people to talk about you. And unfortunately for Kody, let's keep it all the way a stack. As soon as people start mentioning, here's the former polygamist who couldn't really do his own family out here trying to brave the wilderness, all of a sudden, that conversation is going to flip. Even people who might have been a little curious about what was going on with Kody, look, whoever you got doing your PR, brother, unless it's like, we about to get the house took and we got to come up with some money fast, you don't sign up for this show because they are going to drag you. This is a show where you don't have editorial control like you did on Sister Wives, like you did when you had editorial control. You had that because you needed it. You needed to be able to say to the director, the producer, and the people at TLC, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look bad on television. You take that argument off. You were able to do that. If you didn't want to talk about something, you could go in there and tell the damn people at Puddle Monkey, look, mothers, I don't want to look bad on TV. So what we going to do is when Janelle pull up facts, we going to delete that whole thing. Okay, and we just gonna do a jump cut, what they call like you'll go from one part of the scene and all of a sudden you jump to another part of the scene. So it'll be like Kody says something crazy to Janelle, then all of a sudden he's at the door. Bye, see you later. I'm out of here because I'm a real man, and that's the way real men do. Bye, and he walks out, sashaying his butt all the way down to the damn car. Because that's what real men do. Muscle man, he's a muscle man. That's what real men do, right? Because I'm out of here and take off. Pa-pow! And then you leave. Right? That's what real men do. And that's what he does on this show the whole time. Now, it took me a little while, but I'm going to call it what it is. Now, I understand, as most of you do, that reality shows have very little to do with reality. Okay? They have very little to do with reality. Many of the scenes and the arguments and things that occur on reality shows may have been arguments or discussions that they had weeks or months ago. They told TLC or whatever production company they're working for, Bravo, whoever. They tell them about it. They say, you know what? We need to put that shit on the show. That would be a good argument. That's a good segment. And they have them basically reconstruct the argument. That's part of the reason why. An example of that, in my opinion, was when they were sitting on the steps of Christine's house. And they were having a, Kody lost his mind. Them don't not fit the kid. And, that whole debacle, right? There was a point where Robin jumps in and she starts going off talking about how, I wasn't the only person who had a perfect relationship in Vegas. Christine, okay, not Christine, certainly not you, Mary. Janelle, remember when Kody talked to you twice? That was like a renaissance in your relationship, remember? And you had to go to the gym every morning to lose a ton of weight for him to talk to you twice and pretend like you actually attractive and you were something he want to get with. But that was like the utopia of your relationship, remember? And he was every night he'd leave your house and come creeping over to my house. Remember how perfect that was? Right? She couldn't even say it to Christine. But long story long, when we go into it, that's something that Christine never said in that particular argument. That might have been something she had voiced in a previous discussion or previous argument. The one benefit to that is that usually when people have arguments, they kind of give you both barrels. They let you know what they thinking, right? And in some cases, it might catch you by surprise. I never knew you felt that way. You didn't like that Kody was coming over to my house every day? Oh my goodness. You have evidence? They call that facts? Oh my God. What do I do now? Right? They didn't know. But you give them a little time, a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, they get with their buddies, they have a conversation. Oh man, I wish I would have said that. Everybody had that conversation where they say, I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have thought of that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Everybody had that conversation, right? With the reality shows, you get to do that. So when they put their argument out, especially if they won, they crushed you, right? They owned your ass, hands down. They got the receipt because they tore you to pieces and they own you, right? They owned you during that conversation. So they feel pretty good about it. So you have a benefit that when they come to the reality show taping, they'll kind of talk about the same thing the same way, and then they'll address it exactly how they did before. And because you now are ready and you're not surprised, and let's face it, you've been kind of low-key hoping they will bring that up the way they did before, because now you had a bear trap. You pop that right on them, and they don't know what to do, right? That's what you're used to. But I think that's what occurs. So we understand that happens. Reality show isn't necessarily a depiction of actual reality. I get that. This is crazy. I'm sorry, my phone. This is so ignorant. I'm trying to put my phone on airplane, getting people calling me. All right. So yeah, hit that like button. Thank you, Cindy from us. Thank you. I'm up here working. I'm working and sweating and working. And I'm putting more into this. This is the jacked up part. And I want to say something on behalf of all the YouTubers. We put more into our shows, we put more thought into our content than I feel like they put into the TLC next season. They mailed that mother in. That's a mail in it. They mailed it in. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go off on this whole thing. We're going to talk about it. We got to talk about it because I got some stuff I want to get on my chest when it comes to this. And I don't really care no more. Like, I'm just at that point. You know what I mean? I'm at the point now where I gave a lot of people a lot of deference and tried to say, you know what? I'm not going to go in. It is what it is. We all know what it's about. We all wink, wink. We all, you know, that. If you can't wink, that's how you do it. You know, we all know what it is. So I'm not going to go crazy on it. But what you don't get to do, you don't get, look, I'm gonna put it where the ghost can get it. TLC is playing in our faces. TLC is playing in our damn face. If you grew up in a home like me, you probably heard that statement before. What that means is somebody gonna stand there and try to make an ass of you like you don't know what's going on. You don't know what time it is. Here's the thing, TLC. I've owned a watch for a long time. I know exactly what damn time it is. This whole thing is dumb. That whole thing is dumb. Oh, we're going to go to Kody Pass. All it is, and I hate to say this, but it seems to me like everybody is involved with it. Now, it's not just Robin and Kody trying to recondition Robin and Cody's image. You got everybody involved with it at this point. Why? Like, case in point. Case in point. I was going to do this for I was going to do this on Sunday, but I'm going to do it tonight. Let's run a little experiment. Okay, we're going to pull an Einstein. We're going to run a little experiment. I'm going to put up a poll, right? I'm going to put up a poll. And in this poll, I'm going to ask a very simple question. Do we think, or I'll say, do you think? Let me know what you think. Do you think Kody is a narcissist? Why am I feel like I'm spelling this wrong, and I've spelled it like a million times before. All right. I think that's right. Yeah. Do you think Kody is a narcissist? Take your time, think about it, put your mind to it. Do you think Kody is a narcissist? Do you think he displays narcissistic tendencies? Now, keep in mind, Kody Brown, TLC, we're not diagnosing Kody. So save that bullshit for somebody else. We're not diagnosing him. We're just merely saying, in our opinion, after watching the show for 20 damn seasons, 19 seasons, it'll be 20 seasons next season. We watched this show for 19 damn seasons, and this is our opinion of the person that we see that's displayed on this particular show. In no way is this saying that we're medical professionals making a medical diagnosis on this particular individual, etc., etc. We don't know him personally. I never talked to him. I never had an opportunity to put him through a clinic or none of that shit. So I am not trying to diagnose anybody. That's my disclaimer, and I'm sticking to it. And I want to see what you guys have to say about it, because I'm curious. I was thinking to myself. I said, James, do everybody think he a narcissist? Does he display narcissistic tendencies? I mean, there's a difference between being a narcissist and just being a flat out asshole. Let's call it let's call it what it is. Let's put it where we can understand it. Break it all the way down. That's what I like to do. I like to break shit all the way down. I like to use the newfangled terms of the technology of medical. I don't want to do none of that. The legal terms, the legal jargon. I'm so smart. I read a book once. I want to break it all the way down so we could talk about it like human beings, because this is a human experience. So let's talk about it like human beings from our understanding of what a narcissist is. Is Kody Brown a narcissist in how he displays himself on this particular show? If Kody Brown is a character on a show, is that character one of the things that you would say about this character when you're going through his spine to develop him as a character? If you were going to play Kody Brown, would you look at it and say, oh, I'm just extremely selfish and I'm somewhat naive to the way the world works? Or would you say that his medical condition and his psychosis is much deeper by saying that, oh, this guy is a full-on narcissist? Okay, and I'm just curious where you guys are. Okay, before we get to it, let's get some super chats, because, I love to hear what you guys say. I'm trying to look at the screens to pay attention to what you guys are talking about. But, yeah, I'm fired up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little fired up. So we got JB Jonesy 3714 1999 super chat. Love me some content from James. Thank you, and I love giving it to you, JB. Love giving it to you. Let me give you a little something in appreciation of your wonderful super chat. Then, of course, we have YouTube as my time machine, 5917. YouTube is my time machine, too, because I can't tell you how many times I went back and looked at old clips or old movies or saw something like, oh, I remember that when I was a kid. Back when they was knocking holes in the, back when they invented the wheel, right? $5 super chat. The fakest part of this trailer was Kody hanging out with David. Not buying it. That's one of the things I'm talking about. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? Kody hanging out with David. What in the what? I remember when they sat there and tried that bull crap during the tell-all. Everybody had like a little snicker and a giggle about how, oh, if Kody went out with David, they, one of them ain't coming home. Maybe they could go do a road trip, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I remember that conversation. I've had that conversation on this channel after the tell-alls talking about it. And I thought it was, it's a novel question. And here's the thing. It all depends on whether you, especially as the new guy coming into a young lady's life, if that breakup made sense, right? The breakup was mature. Everybody was mature with it. I just realized that, as much as I may like you and adore you, this just isn't working out. I want to make sure that you're able to experience the things you want to experience. You're getting out of the relationship what you want to get out of the relationship. So blah, blah, blah. We can't be together. It doesn't make sense. I wish you the best. Oh, I wish you the best too. Thank you very much. And I will take my exit. That's one thing. At that point, everybody's mature. There's a possibility at some future point, the two people may be able to come back together and form some kind of relationship outside of their previous romantic relationship. And that their partners may be able to sit in a room, have a conversation, et cetera, et cetera. Now, with all that being said, with everything that Christine has tried to tell us, she's relayed to us. She wrote a whole damn book about how she was brought up and how everything is going. And the whole teaser to the book is how she survived this particular marriage. Survived this particular marriage. Not, got out or things didn't work out and she decided to leave. Survived this particular marriage. Now, if you're in a situation and you're a partner with my lady, if she was in a relationship with an individual who had done things to her or mistreated her or did, damage her self-esteem, as Christina said, I didn't know who I was. My self-esteem was dog shit because Kody came in there and just kept smashing me down. That person, oh, dog, when I see you, it's on site. If I catch your ass slipping out around the way, it's on site. It's on site. I am waiting in the cut for you to say the wrong damn thing. When you watch how you talk to her, watch your mouth and watch what you say to her. Because she ain't with you no more. I'm with her, and I'm telling you, I don't tolerate disrespect. What you're not going to do is sit here and keep disrespecting her. I watched time and again when Kody get on TV and disrespect the hell out of Christine. And you telling me that David is going to go hang out with this dude? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to couch it this way. This is a reality show. I understand they're doing it for money. But if this was real, I would question the type of dude David was. I never had a reason to question the caliber of man he was until I saw they asses stand on the side of the road at the racetrack out there on the day's events trying to have a good time together. If somebody mistreated somebody I care about, then that's the same as them doing it to me. We're not going to be friends. We're not going to be cool. It ain't going to be copacetic. I'm not going to be patient. I'm not going to sit around and try to pretend like everything is everything. And we got kids all together. We have kids together. Okay, she has a child with you. You have a child with her. You guys have kids. That's cool. You can talk to each other about these kids. But I'm telling you, bro, don't disrespect her. Don't say the wrong thing to her. If you do, then I'm coming in. And I'm going to have a few words to say because trust me, I've been in this situation before. I'm telling you right now, I already got stuff I want to say to you. And all I'm waiting for is the green damn light. When she give me the green light, get his ass. That's it. Okay? I'm coming in, you dealing with me now. And that's how most situations go. Especially if it's I don't want to say the A word. Not asshole, but the one that will get me demonetized on YouTube. If that's what was going on, and you were mistreating my lady like that, bruh, to the point where she didn't know up from down, she didn't realize that she could leave the relationship because you had it so twisted up. And now I'm coming in there and I'm helping her to unwind the bullshit that you put her through. I'm not going out to the car track with you. I'm not going to the races with you, dog. I'm not showing up. That's not what's going to happen. I'm not doing it. I don't give a shit how much money you talking about giving me. Look, you're not giving me enough money to catch this case y'all trying to put on me. Straight up. That's crazy to me. That's look, I just I can't, man. And here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. I know people will sit there and say, James, that's not mature. That's not mature. Let me tell you a little something. Story time. I have a cousin, right? And my family's actually pretty remarkable. Stuff they do. What the hell? You know, God bless you. My cousin, he was with a young lady. And, you know, crazy as it was, she wanted to have a child. She liked him, thought he was like that dude. And she wanted to have his child. So she went out about the business of getting pregnant, right? It's not like she trapped him. Let's not put that out there. But they had a child together, right? And one of the remarkable things, they were dating. It was serious dating. It wasn't like, you know, just, hey, how you doing? You drinking Michelob? Me too. Let's go make a baby. It wasn't one of those situations, right? So they had a child together. And eventually, as things work, the relationship didn't work out. It failed. Not because, you know, they were cheating or doing something wrong. It just didn't work. My aunt, his mom, did a lot of work on Auntie, whatever you want to call it. She did a lot of work in that space. She made sure that the doors of communication were always open, that the young lady and the child was always welcome at any family events or whatever the case may be. She made it a point to go over there. If it was his weekend, she made a point to go over there and get the child. If he had to work or something, or he was tied up, she made it a point to go over there and get him. And they always kept that door open. And they stayed very civil, to the point where I remember we have holiday dinners, and her current husband will show up with their children, will show up to my cousin's house for holiday dinners. When I was going over to my cousin's house, anytime I go to my cousin's house for a holiday dinner, they will show up and they will all get together. They all, you know, his wife, his current wife, his former girlfriend, her current husband, they all get together. That's mature. That's mature. But see, I understand that there's a substantive difference in what my cousin did versus what Kody and them did. My cousin wasn't sitting around shit talking his ex-girlfriend. My cousin wasn't putting himself in a situation where he was bullying and financially ripping her ass off on a consistent basis. The underlying pretext of this season is Kody Pass. That's the thing that they've been dragging on for 5-6 seasons already. So the underlying thing with Kody Pass. Now, the thing with Kody Pass is Kody is essentially ripping them off financially. He's still trying to rip them off. He's still trying to get money from them that he's not entitled to. And you're telling me that in light of that, Christine's current husband, technically he got Christine for some money too. He got for her ass out of money too, because she did own part of Kody Pass, and she had every right to keep her part of Kody Pass plus her house. She gave that up because she got bullied into it. So you're telling me, you gonna tell me I'm gonna go out on a special day with this joker? No, bruh. No. Because I see the kind of dude you are. And I don't waste my time hanging out with certain folks. I believe, and I tell my kids this shit all the time, I believe the best way for you to stay out of trouble, I even said this about, you know, cheating or whatever. You don't accidentally cheat. You make decisions all along the way. Going out to the car, you know, going taking your ass across the club or the bar to sit there and talk to her for 2 hours. You know, having conversations, laughing and giggling, seeing that the conversation is going too good, make decision to continue the conversation, the decision to go outside to the car, the decision to get in the car, the decision to drive to her house, the decision to kiss and hug and do whatever you're doing in a front porch or a driveway, the decision to get out of your car and go into her house. That's not, oops, I made a mistake. That's a decision. And the best way for you to avoid bad decisions or bad situations is for you to not be there. And the best way for me to not get myself into trouble is for me not to sit there and pretend like this shit is cool, me hanging out with this dude at this racetrack. Because you know what I mean? Like all it takes is for you to be standing, okay, everything cool. He seems kind of funny and charming, awesome. I see why she was attracted to him, cool. And then him look you in the face and say something wild about your wife, and you back clap his ass into the damn track, right? Now you sitting there talking to the police. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to go. I don't have to put myself in that bad situation. Oh, I need to get to know him. You should have got to know me before I married your ex-wife. The time for you to get to know me would have been before I married her. Your daughter is already living under my roof. She's 2 bedrooms away from my bedroom. She sleeps 2 doors down from me. And you wait till after I get. What are we talking about? This isn't even like, oh, well, this is me trying to be responsible. It's too late for that shit. That train has left the building. That train left the building, jumped the track, went into the river, caught fire, hit a boat, and both the boat and the train sank in the middle of the harbor on fire. That shit is gone. That opportunity for you to be that guy is gone. That's why I say it. Hi, Kody, because I know y'all watching these shows. I'm not saying you necessarily watching mine, but I know you watching these damn YouTube channels. Because I've said that shit on the YouTube channel. You should have got to know, because I said the same thing. Aspen said it. I said the same thing. You should have been trying to get to know this man well before he married her, especially if it was like a short-term dating thing where she met him and then all of a sudden within a few months she moving in with him, and it's not just her moving in with him, she taking my daughter too. Oh no, I'm meeting this guy. We're going to have a conversation. But what I'm not going to do, this is just James. What James is not going to do is wait until she marries this joker. My daughter's been living in a house with this fool. I don't know who the hell he is. And then all of a sudden, a year, 2 years later, I'm talking about, hey, why don't we get together and go to racetrack so I can get to know you better? Fuck that. Oh, I'm getting to know you right off the rip, because I gotta look you in the face and let you know that I'm around. That's what I said back then. So this whole thing, no one, none. The TLC, I think, is obviously TLC is paying for it because they pay for all the little activities that they do. But they want to have like the tension of like Kody and David in the same place. I'm not doing that. I'm not even saying you got to go roam the streets looking for this dude. You know what I mean? Your ex's boyfriend or ex's husband. That's crazy. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is that I'm not going to sit here and make your behavior okay. I'm not co-signing that on the back end, because to me, that's co-signing that shit. If I was with a woman and she was playing me low down dirty, cheating on me, and then I find out my wife is hanging out with her, the hell you hanging out with her for? You know how much pain that woman caused me, and you gonna go be her damn best friend? Oh, she's cool though. I don't give a shit how cool she is. She could be cool as a cucumber. She could be cool as a damn Eskimo sitting on a block of ice. I don't give a shit. You look, and I only want. I'm not even the guy to be like, you either hang out with her, or you hang out with me. No, you made your choice. Because if you think that that's something that you want to hang out with, then I got to start questioning your who the hell you are. You know what I mean? Because I'm the type of dude where if you are the kind of guy who mistreats women, I'm not going to be your friend. We don't have nothing in common. We could have you could be my carbon copy walking around. The only difference is you just like putting your hands on women. Me and you are not going to be friends. Just because we like the same stuff don't mean that we got to be bosom buddies. Oh, I like cars. You like cars? I like driving fast. You like driving fast? Let's go to the track together. No, you got enough. Both of y'all have enough money. If you want to go to the track, you can go to the track till you buy your damn self. I'm not going to the track and spending time with this dude. I'm not going to the bar with him. I like going to the bar, doing this, that, and the other. You want to go to the bar with me, do this, that, and the other? Nope. No, busy. I'm busy. What you busy doing? Anything other than hanging out with your ass. That's what I'm busy doing. So no, that whole thing, I don't buy that at all. I don't buy it at all. And again, I think that their attempt to try to launder Kody's image only is dirtying everybody else's. It's not cleaning his image. It's just making everybody else look dirty. Because like I said, now I'm looking at David sideways. What the hell you hanging out with him for? That's your buddy now? Oh, maybe y'all got more in common. Maybe y'all got more in common than just Christine. Maybe you like the way he was treating Christine. You know, sometimes you gotta put them in their place. You know what I mean? What is that? What it is? Is that what y'all laughing and joking about on the side of the road? Don't go hang out with him and then come back talk shit either. Oh yeah, I hung out with Kody. He's so intolerable. He's so ridiculous. Oh my God, I can't believe you even married to him. He is so ridiculous. I wouldn't even hang out with his ass. I don't give a shit how charming you are. If Christine is my lady and she tells me, because Christine, I would imagine if she was being mistreated by this dude and this family and treated like shit, she would have way more stories than just what she told on the show. And I'm sure that part of her healing and part of her bonding with her husband is that she relayed those stories to him. And you're going to go out with this dude who I tell you, yeah, he was torturing the shit out of me. Oh, I got to go out with him to find out exactly how he did it. Turn. No, hell no. Hell no. I don't know. Maybe I love different. Maybe that's what it is, guys. Maybe I just love different. Because to me, that would be a betrayal. If my wife, one of my wife's exes, I found out he was like mistreating her some kind of way. I mean, we could be cool, but it would have to be, she would have to lead the damn way. But even then, it's cool. Like, you know what? It'd be cool. Like, I'm a dog lover. Wife's a cat lover. I love dogs, right? I had dogs since I was a kid. It'd be cool, like, your dog is cool with strangers. That's how the kind of cool we would be. You know what I mean? Is he friendly? You know, I mean, yeah. he ain't friendly. Friendly enough. His dog ain't gonna do nothing to you. Unless you start acting wild to me. If you start acting like you're gonna do something to me, oh, then my dog not friendly no more. All that friendship is like up over, right? That's the way dogs roll. They be cool with you, sitting there playing with you. Okay, little buddy, okay, all right. You get the person who take care of them, they fur baby parent, you know what I mean? A fur papa, fur mama, and you start talking rough to them like you're gonna do something. They go, huh? And friendship is gone. They don't even know you no more. You look like a steak dinner. You look delicious. And that's the kind of friend I would be. That's the kind of cool me and old boy would be. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. As soon as you say something wild, let me take this off, put on my evil face, or as Robin would do, let me take these eyebrows off, put on my mad brows. We'll put on my angry brows. Oh, man. That is crazy to me. But I'm going to give you the response to your question. Well, before I go too far, let me give YouTube as my time machine a little something. Ha, cha, 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 cha. I used to do that, Dave. All right. Do you think Kody is a narcissist? 96% of you said yes. 96% said yes. Now, here's the thing. Because during this, and this is just from me watching it, what I'm saying now is just from me watching the trailer for the first time. These are my hot take opinions of this trailer. I'll go back and maybe if you guys want, I can go back and dissect it a little more into it. But my thing is this. Remember for the last 5 damn seasons, we've been watching Kody come out and say, I never loved your mama. I never loved you heifers. I never cared for you at all. I didn't know what love was until I met the glorious Robin in her shapely figure. I didn't know what love was till I met the woman of my dreams with the Thundercat. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats. Ho! Right? That's what he's been saying the whole time, Mr. Man. Here's the thing. There's been some discussion about whether Kody actually loved those women before he met Robin. Early days, did he love them? Here's my point. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm going to tell you about my experience with dealing with narcissists. With narcissists, a narcissist doesn't love anybody. So when we ask the question, did he love Janelle marrying Christine? No, I don't think so. And I've said this before, and people got mad, a little testy with me. No, JT loved him before that dang old Robin came in and changed his mind up. Nope. If Kody is a narcissist, he didn't just become a narcissist when he met Robin. She ain't injected him with the narcissist pill, when she was pegging him. Like, it's just not what that's jacked up. Pardon my friend. We'll bleep that out somehow. If you're a narcissist, you don't love anybody. Narcissists see people in a very transactional way. Transactional to the point where you pretty much fall in they care for you or deal with you or exalt you or are passionate about you for one reason only. You are useful to them. You're doing something for them. As long as you're doing what they want you to do, you know what I mean? You're still in that idealization stage where you're the ideal person and you're amazing and you're the greatest and they just love bombing the shit out of you. And the crazy part is that when you're dealing with a person who's a narcissist, they make you feel like you are the bee's knees, like you bringing the thunder. They make you feel like you killing it in a relationship. You are so special, so smart. You so wonderful. Oh God, I'm so happy I met you. You're amazing. That's how narcissists do you. They make you feel like, oh, I'm killing this relationship. This is the best relationship ever. And then when right before they hit the point where you start to question them and you start to, have your own opinion, because narcissists get you so hyped. You spend a lot of time. They congratulate you, cheer you on, and you're trying to make them happy. So you go along with it. Yeah, I want more of that. Yes, please. More of that, sir. Give me all of that. I love that. Yes, ma'am. That's what you do. So the more they celebrate you, the more they build you up, and the more they congratulate you for being awesome and the most ideal partner in the world because you're amazing. You want to continue to get that praise heaped on you and that approval. So you start to shape yourself in a way that you get that approval because you're trying to become the idealized version for them of what that person is. You're not even expressing yourself. So if you ever come to a situation with that person where you actually start to buck back because you're not bucking back to be mean, you're not bucking back to be nasty, you're not trying to create a revolution, all you're trying to do is give your opinion. And if your opinion differs from their opinion or more to the point, it takes you out of the idealized version of what they see you as, then you're no longer useful. And then what do? We watched it on the show, and this is why I'm saying he's a damn narcissist. We watched it on the show. You start to devalue that person. You start to tear down who they are and what they're about and the value that they bring to the world. They'll tell you jacked up stuff. See, and they find out your secrets because we in it together, girl. It's the two of us, and I'm here. I'm your hero. I'm your man. I'm your champion. And they start to get to talking to you, and you start to reveal stuff, and you thinking that you're revealing stuff because you're trying to bind hell to the no. They're taking in that information because they're logging that shit because they're going to use it against you later to manipulate you. So when you say, I'm so happy with you. Oh my gosh. I got to tell you about how my daddy did me. My daddy walked out My daddy didn't come to this. My mama didn't do this for me. My mama didn't do that. They'll tell you, oh my goodness, that's so terrible. See, I would never do that to you. And the whole time they logging that shit. And during the devalue stage, you very well may run into a point where they look you in the face and say something. See, that's why your damn daddy didn't do that for you. That's why your mama don't hump with you, because you ain't nothing. You are not a good person because you disagree with me. And now it's on you. And now you're fighting, trying to recover the person that you used to have. But the truth of the matter is that person doesn't exist. We listened to them talk the whole time about how they dealt with Kody and what was going on with them and Kody, and how Kody was so good when he was younger and he was great with the kids and they just want to get him back to where he was. The problem that they have is that Kody is never coming back. Why? Because you no longer serve a purpose in his life. You're not. The most honest thing Kody ever said on this show, in my opinion, is when he sat there and said, you guys are not living up to you guys ain't helping me to achieve my goals, when they were sitting on Kody Pass, right? He said, you guys ain't helping me to achieve my goals. You ain't doing the things I want you to do. So I'm tired of dealing with the family. That's right before he disconnected and cut everybody off. Because that's what that's the other part of what narcissists do. They give you the idealization. They give you, when they get tired of the idealization, you start to see the truth, and you start bucking back, and you're no longer the ideal partner. They devalue you. And then after they devalue you, they discard you. They get rid of your ass. And the whole time you're fighting to try to get back the love you thought you had, because it was so precious and so wonderful, because it was the idealized version of that love. That's why I asked the question, is he a narcissist? Because if he's a narcissist, that trends more with that pattern. So he's not a narcissist, is not in love with you. They're in love with the idealized version of you that supports something that they want or something that they need. The second you no longer support that need, or the second you become too much trouble for them, or the second that they find something else, they go with that other thing. But they just can't leave. Why didn't Kody just say, you know what? Bump this. I'm tired of you ladies. You chicks is getting on my nerves. It's so ridiculous. And walk out the door with Robin. The reason he couldn't do that is because part of it is that he has to, like, there's a weird part of it where not only does he have to leave, but he have to break all his toys. You're a toy to him. And you know what I mean? I heard before, like, it's kind of like they compared the narcissist to Toy Story, where the little boy Andy, he loved Woody and he was all about Woody. Woody was the ideal toy. And then when he got Buzz Lightyear, when Andy got Buzz Lightyear for Christmas, all of a sudden Woody got kicked to the side. Woody wasn't a favorite no more. So Woody spent the rest of the couple movies trying to get back in with Andy and trying to become that idealized version of that toy again. But Andy had already moved on to the space toy. That's why he loved Buzz Lightyear so much. And then as Andy got older, I mean, this is also a part of maturity for that particular Toy Story. Not saying Andy's a narcissist, but in that sense, he gets them fighting amongst each other because one is the new ideal, the other one's the old ideal, but the old one wants to get back to the way things were, but it's never going back that way because the person that you're dealing with has no reason to want to go back. They don't want to go back. Kody don't want to go back to where he was with Mary Christine and Janelle. That's my thing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You know? Was it Kim said it's all about supply? I agree with that. I think it is about supply. But with truth be told, by the time Robin came into the family, it wasn't just Robin that changed his life. It was the fact that now all of a sudden they have access to new money and opportunity because of the show. And as he's moving into the show space and he's looking around, like you look at most reality TV shows, especially the ones that were really popular at the time that the show started, Real Housewives or wherever, Atlanta, Georgia. No, it was Atlanta, Georgia, and New Jersey. Jersey and Georgia were very popular in Orange County. That was like the three-headed monster for Bravo. And you look at those women are getting all kinds of plastic surgery. They go into the gym. They are all about a stick figure. You know what I mean? And then makeup caked on heavy. So they weren't bad looking ladies. They made TV sense. And then he's looking at his ladies. They are real women. That's how real women look. And he didn't want a real woman. He wanted one of the plastic Barbies. because that's what he thought he wanted at the time. So at the time, Robin fit the mold to that, to him, the closest thing he could get to that ideal. And so when they weren't the ideal. There was one point where Kody said, yeah, I was looking back at some of the old pictures of us on the show. We were ridiculous. He wasn't talking about himself. He wasn't criticizing himself, and he certainly wasn't criticizing Robin, Mr. Thunderclapper. Like, he wasn't criticizing the Thunderclapper. So if he wasn't talking about himself, he wasn't talking about Robin. Who was the other stars of the show? I don't know. Oh, that's right, the OG3. Right? I'm just saying. Just saying. Yep. Peggy, where's Peggy at? Let me go there. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. Sorry, guys. Let's just say my aunt was a narcissist. Peggy, my aunt was a narcissist, and my brother's wife is a narcissist. They only contacted us when they needed something from us. Yeah, because that's the extent of their relationship. But the crazy part is, if you asked them and you confronted them about it, they would have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean I only contact you when I need something? That's not true. I contact you all the time because you always need shit. What are you talking about? That's why I talked to you for like 2 weeks last week, 2 hours last week, because you needed something. But not once during that 2-hour conversation did you ask about me. And if you did ask about me, it was like, oh, how you doing? How's your job going? That's how you know they're about to hit you up for some money. How's your job going? Is it going good? You still work there at that place? But then you have they also blamed everyone else for their problems, right? Because they can't be the problem. It is everybody else who's the problem. Y'all the one bringing strife in my life. The craziest thing is, I know a person who displayed narcissistic tendencies, her and her partner. And the craziest thing is that they would create all this chaos, all this drama. In my life, the way I live, me and my lady and my family, we do our family, we don't have a lot of bullshit going on, external bullshit. We just don't, right? And the only time we had to deal with any type of drama was when we were dealing with them. The craziest part is when we fell out with them, they looked at us and said, oh, y'all toxic. Y'all got all this drama. Are you crazy? The only drama I'm dealing with is your shit. That's the only drama I got in my life, helping you through your stuff. That's it. As soon as I got rid of you, I lost 40 pounds of drama bullshit. Our life is very like this, and that's the thing. Like, there's always people too. I won't necessarily say it with the narcissist, but there are people who live their lives and they don't think that they're in a relationship unless there's always something going on. They live their lives like they're on a reality show. There always has to be a conspiracy. Somebody always has to be against them. Somebody always has to be struggle. Somebody has to have a problem with somebody else, and somebody always has to be arguing, and they always have to be in the middle, kind of watching what's going on. I can't live my life like that. So, I mean, I agree with Peggy's whole point. They only do contact me when they need something. What did Lizzie B have to say? It's not nice being replaced. Kody did that with all the OG3 wives and wanted them to stay quiet. But when Christine left and did the same, he started blaming and shouting rude things. Absolutely. Because it's it's not do as I say or do as I do, it's do as I say. What's good for me is not good for thee. You understand what I mean? You can't go back and try to use their rules against them. Hell to the no. That's not what we do. You're gonna be like, that's how we doing. You don't get to do my thing to me. That's my thing. But we're in the poll here. It was up for 38 minutes. Out of 207 people, 96% of you said he's a narcissist. And I would just simply say that if he's a narcissist, he didn't give a damn about them women because he can't. Like, just full stop. He can't. It's just not in his wheelhouse, And they do the best they can with treatment. And especially, let's talk about that for a second. as far as I can tell, and as far as I know, he is an undiagnosed, untreated narcissist. He's not somebody who's in therapy trying to better himself and deal with what potentially could be his psychological disorder. He's just a guy who's saying, I don't like the outcomes that I receive from my behavior, and I need to fix the outcomes, not my behavior, not my attitudes, not my belief system. I need to fix the outcomes so that I have more preferential outcomes. That's a substantive difference. That's a big damn difference. So, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. Like this, that's what I'm saying. Like watching this whole season, and the thing, before I go into that, let me get to some more super chats. Because I don't want to keep you guys I don't want to hold you. I don't want to hold you. Let me get some super chats. Oh, Jody Paris, Gala in the house. What's going on, Jody? How you doing? $1.99 super chat. Does anyone remember what the therapy topics were? The first few times that they were going for therapy was actually for the family. Like there was an introduction of the new therapist because apparently the family had already been in therapy. Then there was the introduction of the new therapist. That's when she started asking questions to Robin and gave her the test that she'd say she never took. Then there was the whole time she was getting pushback because there was a potential where she could reveal some things that they didn't want to talk about. Then they went to that same therapist to talk about what was that business, Sister Wife's Closet or Sister Wife's Catastrophe, which Kody was trying to get, like every time that they used the therapist, it was always in the vein of trying to get the women to do what Kody wanted them to do. It wasn't a tool to try to develop understanding or compassion for your partner. It was just a way for him to try to manipulate and control his partners. And so he was using a therapist to do that. And that's part of the things that, like, I think a good therapist should really be mindful of. Like, you're not just there taking notes and telling people what they want to hear. You're also, especially if you're dealing with a group therapy position, you have a responsibility, not just a patient physician responsibility, which is hefty, or a fiduciary or a legal responsibility, which is also hefty. But you have a responsibility just as a human being. Like, don't be a part of a situation where you're bullying somebody. Because there was one point where Kody and Mary went to this therapist to ask the question about the first time was for so they could come up with the family motto or whatever. The second time was for Sister Wife's Closet or Catastrophe. The third time was for Mary. No, actually, the third time was Christine. Christine and Kody went on their anniversary down to meet with her, so that meet with the old therapist and the new therapist, so that they could work on their relationship. And that's what Kody was just basically like. Christine was like, "What? Build the rock tower to symbolize our relationship?" And Kody was like, "No, I got 4 wives and I got kids, 18 kids, and this is what it's about. And you got to bow down and bend down and start serving this purpose. And that way we'll be good if you start, basically prostrate yourself to the family, which is me, right?" Then you had the one where he went with Mary. And the whole time, like, this woman, the therapist, is sitting there watching him bully these women around, and she didn't say shit. She gave some pushback on Kody, like that first time when they went to the first initial thing where they were trying to figure out how to do the family motto. But after that, she must have got to talk. Like, if you keep pushing them this way, or you keep asking them questions, we're gonna fire your ass. Because after that, like, she would just sit there and take notes and not say nothing. She didn't say, "Oh, Kody, this isn't a structure on how to build a family." In order for your family to work, a family is comprised of individuals. In order for your family to be able to bond together as a family, you have to repair the relationships between the individuals so that you can come together as a family. If you try to do it from a top down or a big group position, then that is going to fail because you're not working on the individual relationships. It doesn't matter if I get along with, we try to, if I take my whole family to counseling, my wife and my kids to counseling because we're not getting along as a family. We have to work on our individual relationships with each other. And then we can come together as a family. We can't come together as a family and then try to figure us out individually. That's just backwards. There's no way that works. And the lady didn't say anything. Like I won't say she's the worst therapist I've seen on reality TV because the therapists from 90 Day Fiance Last Resort exist. So those therapists were absolutely ridiculous. I think that from what I understand, I think a couple of them are life coaches. I think there might be one actual therapist, licensed therapist. Life coaches should be fired. The therapist should have her license taken. Like I think they should take a damn license because the advice and the stuff she was given was completely ridiculous. The thing she was a part of was completely ridiculous. And when push comes down to shove, if you look at it, not only was it ridiculous in the sense that it was just bad advice, but it was downright destructive. It recommending people have open relationships and they can't even, that would be the equivalent of what Kody was doing. I want to have an open relationship. I want to be able to screw other people. We could go out and screw other people, and then we'll come back together. Yeah, because infidelity always fixes stuff. Like, what are you talking about? Again, you got to do it. You got to work on your relationship with each other before you start trying to include other people. Kody had to work on his relationship with Christine before he started including other people. So I think that the therapy topics, and they've never focused on Kody. They've never focused on Kody. Even when she did try to say, oh, Kody, maybe you should listen to your wives and address it that way. Not only did Kody take offense to it, Robin sat there. She missed the next day, refused to go to the next therapy session because she said that she felt like the woman was attacking him. Oh, I felt like she was nasty and attacking Kody, the way she was coming at him, trying to put everything on him. When it's on him. You're not listening to the people talk. You're in a therapy session. You got to hear what they have to say, but you're not listening to what they got to say. You're running them over and telling them what they think and how they should feel and how they should be reacting and why they're wrong and why they need to just listen to you and everything will be fine. And the second she say, no, how about we let Mary say what she's thinking and tell us how she's feeling? Then all of a sudden, oh, she's attacking us. I didn't think that. And Kody said the classic thing, which lets me further know that they weren't never really going into therapy. He said, I thought that this was some kind of training. Like you're at your job and you like say you sell widgets or you sell car parts and you understand how the car parts work. But every 6 months or so, you have to go and get recertified. And you just sit there during that certification process, education certification process, waiting for the test, and you fucking around. I'm part of my friend. But you out there just messing around the whole time because you don't care. Like, it's the same thing, blah, 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 blah. Then you take the test and you pass and you go on back to work. That's how he was treating this whole therapy stuff. So that's why it didn't work. Therapy is not a magic bullet. It only works if you only get out of therapy what you put into therapy. Right. So even if you go to therapy 5 times, I've seen people on these reality shows. I've been in therapy for years. I know all about therapy. And you know why you still suffer from the same problems? Because you're just going to the therapy sessions, listening to the person talk to you for an hour, usually 50 minutes, and they use the last 10 minutes for notes. But they talk to you for 50 minutes. Then you leave the office and you stop doing everything that you guys talked about. You don't put anything into practice. It's like if you were being trained, like if you pay somebody to teach you how to do something, they're teaching you how to do something and they're training you how to do it. You're supposed to, take that and install it and incorporate it into your life and lifestyle. It's not supposed to stop because the guy's not standing there handing you something or telling you to do, giving you instructions. That's why that therapy always failed with never worked with them. And again, because of his, like, if he does have narcissism, he needs to work on that. Like that's a whole thing that he has to work on by himself. And that's not something he can do in a group setting where he can blame other people as to why he's suffering the way he's suffering. Let me give you a little something, Jody Pierce. Give you a little something, something. Then we have Susie Q up in the house. What's going on, Susie Q? $5 super chat. Kody and his Jack Nicholson in The Shining impression is comical. I thought I was about to say criminal. I thought it was criminal, but she said comical. Kody and his Jack Nicholson in his Shining impression is comical. He wishes he had Jack's money, and we wish he had Jack's acting skills. Yeah, right. If he had Jack's acting skills, he'd be doing more than what he's doing now. He won't be on on special forces about to get his knees blowed out. And yeah, he's trying, like, that's the whole thing too. Like he's throwing himself on a pyre, trying to do a little laundering of Robin's image, because if he can elevate Robin, that automatically elevates him as well. Because Robin if he can get Robin into a good place where people start liking her, and she's making sacrifices, and I will not sell any of this dang on land, dab nabbit, until we can bring justice to everyone. Because these people are trying to use each other to hurt each other, and I will not tolerate it. Because I am Robin Brown, Empress of the Bench, right? So you have Mistress of the Bench sitting there trying to pretend the Mistress of the Bench. That's checked up. I'm gonna sit there and watch on Kody Pass and watch everybody's house. Like, that would have been disturbing. I want to move to Kody Pass just for that reason. Every time I look up that damn hill, I see Robin's ass up there watching us. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna go up there and say something to her. But so you have that, and then she's trying to pretend like she's not going to allow Kody Pass to be sold, and that's what's taking so long to get Kody Pass sold, because Robin won't let Kody screw everybody over, because she's such a good woman. And then by Kody's association to Robin, that brings Kody into a position where he's also a good person. So therefore, Kody and Robin are good people, and we just had them misunderstood the whole time. I'm not buying it though. Sorry, miss me with that foolishness. I'm not buying it. I buy the fact that they both selfish ass people who got caught up in a situation that they couldn't control, they couldn't manipulate, and then all of a sudden things happen the way things happen. The most honest thing is you just mistreated all these people and they decided to leave. I think that that's an honest assessment of how that's more real than, oh, you just gonna keep beating me down, you'll keep beating me down, you'll keep beating me down, and I'm gonna just stick around, and then after I get free from you, I'm gonna come back. Thank you so much, Susie Q, because I do want to continue to talk about like some other things I found that I disliked about this dang on trailer. So thank you, Susie Q, and I appreciate you. Just reminded me of something else about it. Thank you, Susie Q. Susie Q is one of the OGs. She's been around. Susie Q been around. Susie Q been around. Oh, we had a couple more. Let me just rip through these. Jody Pierce, Scholar, $4.99. Super chat. Did you think it was part of the court case mediator? Oh, for the two of them to get together? No. You guys need to get together and work things out now, because it really, even though David plays a part, he's not a critical portion of that relationship. The two people who really need to get together and be able to have a conversation are the two parents, not, the step parent. Like, technically, that would be the equivalent of, Kody, David, you shall go out on a day of racing, drive some cars super fast, and then bond as brothers. And then the judge would have to turn around and say, Christine and Robin, you must get together, go on a special day of events, and bond together as sisters. Like, that shit is not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Because the same way David would be the step parent whom Kody would have to get to know and they have a relationship with, then a mediator would have to be able to look at Christine and say, well, you also have to be able to get along with his wife, and you guys have to have some kind, like, that is not a thing. That is not a thing. So Christine and Robin, you guys gotta get together. No, hell no, hell no. Right. The only thing you have to do as a parent, the custodial parent and non-custodial parent, is be able to treat each other respectfully and not denigrate or talk bad about each other to the child, in front of the child, or have anybody in your circle talk bad about the child in front of the child. Like, you guys can go behind closed doors and talk as much shit as you want, but you can't have anybody, like, you can't sit there and I'm not saying nothing, and the whole time your mama in the background talking about, he ain't shit, that dude, how come he don't never pay no money? He don't never do nothing for none of these kids. He ain't never around. That dude, I don't even know why you got with him, because he Casper the friendly damn ghost. He friendly with everybody else, but as soon as somebody come around, all of a sudden he disappear. He ain't nothing. Like that, that's not a thing. Because if you go to court and they find out that the parent was allowing even her mama to talk bad about him, even though you probably live with her. How I'm gonna stop her from talking shit about him? I live with her. She don't live with me. I stay with her. You know what I mean? But you can't have anybody around the child talking bad about the other parent. That's part of it too. Like, as long as that stuff isn't going on and you don't block visitation or the ability for the parent and child to be able to communicate and talk to each other on a consistent basis, you know, as much as the parent, you know, wants to do it. Let's be honest. Some parents, they get the order. You can call your child every week. You can get them Monday or Friday to Sunday and come, and they never show up. Like, that order is not enforceable that way. You can't go to the house, knock on the door. Hey, it's your weekend to take little Johnny Junior. So here you go. Here's Junior. You got him. Bring him back on Sunday. Like, that's not a thing. They can enforce it the other way. If you try to hide Junior out and he comes for visits, then you could get in trouble that way, and that could be something the court talks about. But that's all they do. They're not. I don't think that they would make David go out with Kody. I think the show would do it because they think that because I'm gonna put it this way. I'm really at a point where I'm not dressing it up anymore. The producers think we're dumb. The producers, in my opinion, the producers think we're dumb. And they're just trying to give us what they think would be interesting TV. And that lets me know that they might not have anything left to talk about or give to us as a family or as a reality show. Because if you have to come up with something as lame as, I'm going to have Kody meet up with David, Christine's current husband, and they're not at a, you know, because it's not like they've never seen each other or they've never talked. They've been to family events. They were at the funeral together when they were burying Kody's child. Christine and her husband were there. So you can't tell me, like, all of a sudden, you know, it's imperative that the two of them have a conversation. If you want to have a conversation, you could have talked at Gwen's engagement party. You could have talked at Logan's wedding. You could have talked at Garrison's funeral. You could have talked before, after that event. Any one of those activities you could have, because he's had like a memorial services, so on and so forth. He could have talked to him then if it had to be a family thing and they just run into each other. If you were curious about them, there could have been a conversation there. But for you to set something up for them to be able to have a conversation, it just seems it's too much for me. It's too ham-fisted. So, like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, I feel like they playing in our faces at this point. This is like the part right before Kasuki had suggested it, and this was like a show idea. Maybe we'll run it out and see how it goes, and everybody like it. You know, that makes sense because then we can keep the show going if people are like really interested in it. This is, you know what I mean? This is that part of reality show that feels like the old timey Godzilla movies. All of a sudden, Godzilla's gonna fight King Kong. You know. King Kong had his own movies, Godzilla had his own movies, and people are like, what would happen if the two of them actually met? We're going to make your dreams come true. Godzilla fights King Kong. Let's see who the best. Who's the king of the monsters, right? And that's what it is. Like, this is that, you know, let's give the audience what they said they want. They want to see a conflict between Kody and David. David going to say something to him. So we just going to set a situation up where the two of them have a potential for argument. But it's unrealistic because I am not going. I put my foot down on that. Thank you so much, Jody Pierce-Scholar. Because again, I'm gonna say something about this show. My other feeling about this show. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Jody Pierce-Scholar in the house. What? What? Jody be like, you be talking about that damn Kody.
Settle down, Johnny Appleseed.
Jody be like, settle down, Johnny Appleseed. That's my boy Hunter in the house. Thank you so much, Jody. Michelle Bratz, Natal. I think that's right. 99 cents. Super sticker. Like super stickers. Thank you so much, Jody. I'm calling Jody. Michelle. She said, put some speck on my name, sucker. Put some speck on my name. Thank you so much. Yeah, because here's my thing. And then we're gonna get to, because we still got some calls, some messages to get to. But here's my thing. I remember there was a time when people were asking me, James, what do you think about them all getting together on a couch and having a conversation, or, you know, the two of them going on a road trip, or, you know, doing a double date with Kody and Robin and Christine and David. Here's my thing. If we take the position, and it's been insinuated that there may have been some mistreatment on behalf of Kody to his wives, and we take that as a position that he's been mistreating them, right? And throughout the years, and he's had them arguing and fussing and fighting with each other, mental manipulation, mental abuse, so on and so forth, just a bunch of other stuff. And we take that position. I have an issue with, fuck it, I'm gonna just say it the way I want to say it. I'm trying to be political about it, but I can't. Look, I have an issue with, in one sense, you're trying to sell the show as this is a show about strong, independent women, and then you're putting them in a situation where they're making decisions for dollars that don't make any sense. If you are in a bad situation, a bad relationship, and you somehow find the courage and ability to leave that situation, you are not doing yourself any favors by trying to maintain and keep contact with somebody who has been manipulative to you for the last 15 years. I'm sorry, the last, I think it was like 25 years. In the case of Christine, it wasn't 15 years, like 25. They've been on the show for 15 years. And they were together long before that. So you're looking at close to 30 years that you're in a relationship, and this dude has been controlling and manipulating your mind for the last 30 years. And for a few dollars, you're going to make a decision to go sit with this joker and keep trying to talk to him and keep trying to be involved with him, keep being in a room with him. The best thing, like I even said, like, because I'm a big proponent for anti-closure. I don't believe that that's a thing. I don't think that it's wise for you to seek closure, in the sense of, for me, closure is when you find peace in your reality, the way things are, and you find peace with your position, whether you're with that person, not with that person, whatever. You find peace in that position. That's closure. To me, closure is not you going back, having a conversation with somebody, saying these magical words that's going to get them to break down and admit all the wrongdoing that they ever committed to. You're right. I'm such an asshole. I treated you so horribly. I was such a terrible person. I was deserve to be happy. That shit is never going to happen. When if you think that you're going to go back and say something to somebody, and all of a sudden they're going to look at themselves and say, wow, you were an amazing partner. I'm so sorry I treated you that way. You deserve better. And I hope the best for you. I'm not saying those things. If I do say those things, I'm saying that shit because I want you back. And I want to pull you back into my web. That's why I'm saying it. right? If you're breaking up with me and I'm saying that shit, that's why the guy is saying it. That's why the young lady is saying it. Oh, you were so right. You were so amazing. When I was cheating on you with your best friend, I found out that she wasn't nothing. She wasn't as good a woman as you were. I made all kinds of mistakes. I was horrible. I destroyed our family. That's what you're gonna get. But it's still serving me. That closure isn't for you. What you're going to hear is, I'm not a horrible person. Nobody even the most evil person thinks that they're doing the right thing or what they're doing is justifiable. Even if they think what they're doing is wrong, they think it's justified. So when you come back and you drop your facts on them, they're not going to crumble and say, your facts are so overwhelming. They're going to say, what I did was right. And it was right for me at the time. It was the best decision I could make. So I did what I did. You're not going to get the kind of closure that you want. So why are you going back hanging out with them? The only thing that can really happen if you go back, especially somebody who's a narcissist and somebody who's extremely manipulative, the only thing that can happen is you're going to go back, talk to them, and they potentially could talk your ass back into a bad situation. So no, I don't encourage them to sit on the couch with him or be in a room with him. Again, I fall back onto the things that I've seen on TV. If you can stand there and lose your mind and start talking about the knife on the kidney and berate somebody and yell at somebody and tell them that they wasn't doing nothing and they were of no value to you, and they were not only not of value to the family, but they were detrimental to the family and to you and to your well-being, and you made a ton of sacrifices just to give them the privilege to be around, and you can stand on a porch and yell that shit in somebody's face, and none of the people on the porch have like, what the hell is going on? None of the people, everybody looking at their shoes and shit. There is more going on there. And frankly, I wouldn't feel comfortable or safe putting somebody back in that situation where you have to keep dealing with this. I wouldn't. So the question is, either my perspective of what's going on is wrong, and he was a wonderful man, and it just happened to fall apart, or I'm right, and everybody's doing it for money because they don't want the show to end. And I'm just not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that because I think that it supports a culture of mistreatment. I think this supports a culture of mistreatment because you're normalizing them going back. It's one thing for you to get out and say, ladies, I was in a bad situation. I was being taken advantage of. I didn't feel like I could get out. But when I got out, I felt like I was winning. I felt like I did something. I did it for me. I did it for my kids. And I'm never going back. But you don't have to keep dragging yourself back into a bad situation because what are you proving? What are you proving? And having your husband and your partner go out with them? Your abuser, to prove that you're over it and you're mature. We have a call later, and we'll talk about like the whole maturity thing because I did want to have that conversation. And if they want to, keep making money, go for the spinoff. Try to talk to them about doing a spinoff, about pursuing your life and your lifestyle in a reality-based form as to where you are now, as opposed to what's been going on with the show, which is why I'm saying that they're mailing it in this season, even though we're going to, everybody's going to sit there and pretend like, oh, this is the most amazing season. It's going to be hot to death. It's going to be hot like fire. It's going to be fuego, right? It's going to be in my opinion, it's just going to be a rehash of everything we talked about for the previous seasons. Down the Kody Pass. Oh my gosh, Kody Pass. What we gonna do with it? Oh, we don't know. Oh, Kody Pass. This is why you should have got lawyers involved. Because if you had a lawyer involved, Kody Pass would have been sold. Okay, it would have been either sold or it already been broke up. Well, especially after you paid it off. Get a lawyer involved instead of doing this damn dance. Maybe I'll sell it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll decide later. Depending on how well you treat me. Bump that. Depending on how much money I put in. Now, how about that? We can do math around these pots, partner. We can do math around these pots, partner. Like, that's how you do it. So, we got that. Then you have Mary going on her speed dating. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna start snorting my news and make light of the fact that I'm lonely as hell, right? If you desperately try to find somebody, take the shit serious. But then at the same time, Mary's in a very fragile situation because she doesn't want to act like she's taking it too serious. Because what does it mean? If she's taking it serious, then that comes down to the fact that she might not be successful and she failed. So she's trying to play it off like she doesn't care. Okay, get that. Then you have Janelle. I'm gonna pursue the I'm gonna pursue the separation. If you want to get the separation because you want to hurt Kody's feelings, and this is just the way that you can do it, I'm petty. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm petty. I get it. Right. But if this is a thing where unless you plan on being part of that church, unless you plan on getting married in that church or part of that faith, you know what I mean? Maybe superstition wise, I don't know. But seeking it and your reinvolvement with this guy, there is a point where you keep going after him, you keep talking to him, you keep giving him that attention. The crazy part is there's certain individuals, narcissists included, who love the attention part. And so they love the fact that you're coming back, trying to talk to them, deal with them, trying to include them and make them pay for something that they don't have not necessarily a reason to pay for, or you trying to get back at them. They like any attention, good, bad, negative, positive. They like attention. And so as long as you're giving them attention, they can still sit there and pretend like they're the center of your world and your universe. You're making all your decisions based on what I got going on, right? So he'll gladly play that game. If you want to really hurt him, cut his ass off, stop dealing with him, stop returning his phone calls, unless it's about your kids. When he call you for like, hey, let's meet up and go to lunch, or let's go, let's get together and talk so I could feed you a lot of bullshit. Because I'm gonna put it where the ghost can get it. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm not trying to be political about it. I'm not politically correct or whatever the hell. I'm just gonna put it where it is. If he's calling you up and telling you after he spent all that time on television, every time they put a mic in front of his face, whether he was talking to you or not, whether he was talking about you or not, he's consistently come out and said, I didn't give a shit about them women. I don't give a damn about them. I never loved them. Why don't I get along with my kids? Because I never loved your mothers. That was what he kept saying. So at that point, just my perspective for me, and I'm sure you guys have your own perspectives, but this is my position. If you sat there and talked shit about me and told me that I wasn't shit, you never cared about me, the relationship was nothing, it was terrible, it was dog water, I'm dog water from the front to the back, the top to the bottom, I'm nothing that I pretend to be, I'm the Teflon king, nothing affects me, I just sit up there and back talk you, I have no character, you accuse me of fucking stealing. That's the one thing that you don't do. Oh, you were stealing money from me. You were trying to steal money and keep money from me. You were trying to hide money. And that's why the family didn't know, because we were trusting Janelle with the books, and the books came out wrong. And all of a sudden the money is gone. And this, that, and other. And Janelle was the one who was dealing with the money. You accuse me of that? And then you want to invite me to a dinner and tell me that, yeah, I'm sorry, I was lying when I said I never loved you. I was wrong. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care. You're sorry? Okay, good for you. You're sorry. Sorry, you sorry. No, I'm sorry. Not sorry, you're sorry. I don't care. I don't care. Sorry, bruh. Like, you don't get to talk shit about me the whole time. Anybody who will listen, get on TV, run me down, run down my character saying I'm stealing money, because that's what he said. Like, you read like between the damn lines, read between the lines. He said that she was stealing money. You don't get to say I'm stealing money, especially when I'm living in a damn trailer and you living in a fucking mansion, and you're going to look at me and say that I'm the one that's stealing money. Where the hell did you get mansion money from? You Mickey Ficky? I'm about to use the big ones. Where are you getting the mansion money from, Mickey Ficky? Are you serious? I'm stealing money. Every time I turn around, like, they got that big ass and obnoxious picture of Kody kissing Robin on the car on a wall. That thing is about 6 feet long. It's about 4 feet by 6 feet. And they had it turned into a painting. And I'm stealing money. Oh. And then you gonna get me somewhere and talk about how you was wrong and you really did love me back in the day. Well, I don't give a shit whether you love. If you love me back in the day, that's fine. I'm remembering how the last time you treated me, how you've been treating me. It doesn't matter if you love me 20, 30 years ago. If you treat me jacked up today, if you treat me like dog shit today, it don't matter if you treated me like I was a king when we first met. That's how people get twisted up too. I'm not a fan of that either. You go like, it's nice that you have nice memories with somebody, but if they're mistreating you today, it don't matter how they used to treat you. It don't matter like that. But maybe they'll get back to it. Well, I tell you what, you can come back when you get back. When you get back to that person, you come back then. But until that time, we don't have nothing to talk about. There's no reason. I need to let him know that we will never be friends. You know how you let him know that you'll never be friends? Stop picking up the damn phone. He'll figure it out. We ain't friends no more. I'm going to call Janelle, see what she up to. Hey, Janelle, how you? Hello. That's how you know I ain't your friend. Your phone calls don't get returned. That's how you know we ain't friends. You know what I mean? What are we in high school? I'm going to tell you to your face that we're no longer friends. You know we ain't friends when I'm walking down the hallway and you're, hey, James, and I keep it pushing. Walking like I'm on a mission. You don't exist no more. Poof, poof, pow, you just disappeared from my whole world. Welcome to it. Welcome to the negative zone. You don't exist anymore. I mean, stroll right by his ass. Hey, Janelle, how you doing? I'm at Logan's wedding. Hey, Logan, how you doing, baby? I mean, Janelle, you look pretty. Logan, I'm so proud of you. That's how you let him know that you ain't his friend. And no, we would not be friends. We would not be friends. We're not friends. You don't get to call me a thief. You don't get to tell me that I'm stealing from my kids, because essentially that's what really Kody was trying to imply. Because it wasn't just, oh, she's stealing from me. He's saying that she was stealing from the family, which included the other wives and the kids. You don't get to say I'm stealing from my kids, especially if I'm the only one providing for them, because your punk ass can't seem to get it together. No. We're not doing that. And you save your tears. Okay, save your tears, because for whatever hell you got coming for you when karma come back around and kick you in the ass, you're gonna need these tears. So I want you to go ahead, save those, and excuse me. And then, I'm gonna invite. Like, it seemed like he always invite them out to restaurants and make them pay. Like, he make them pay. So I'm gonna take you to dinner or lunch so that you could tell me some bullshit. Miss me with that one. No one needs closure on a relationship that was employee-employer. You're fired. Wait, hold on. I got one for you.
Fired. I beg your pardon? Fired. But I... Fired!
So you think dude needed closure when he was running out the door? Oh, I didn't get my closure. I better go back. You got your closure. You fired. That's your closure right there. The door is closed. Close the door behind you. We break up and you, like I said, I'm built different. I must be built different. I think some of y'all built different too. Because there's no way where we are not cool after that. If I was dating a young lady and she ever said something to, I was with James and I didn't feel safe. Excuse me? I didn't feel safe. Why? I said something? No, you didn't say anything. I did something? No, you didn't do anything. Just how I felt. And I find out your ass running around telling everybody that shit. Oh, we are not friends. We are not friends. In fact, every time I hear your name, I'm gonna cuss. Oh, that raggedy ass. Oh, hell no. We are not friends. You want to meet? You want to meet for lunch or something so we could talk and maybe I can give you some closure? No, I'm good. I already got my closure. I got all the closure I need. You can close that. Oh, I never loved you. You pump 6 kids into a woman. You tell her that you never loved her. You take all not some of her money. You take all of her money, and then you turn around and tell her that you don't love her. You have her in the house when you guys broke up, and I'll never forget this shit. You had Janelle in the house crying because she realized that after all those years of marriage, after all that time she spent covering your misappropriation of funds, when you were stealing that money, mother, she covered all that shit up for you, and she did all that for you. And she realized that she was about to walk away from that relationship with nothing. And you went and spent the next 3-4 years talking about how you never loved that person? No, we good. We're so good. You don't want to talk? No. Because I guarantee you, they don't want to hear what I have to say. They don't want to hear what I got to say. You know what I mean? And to that, I say this.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Yeah, you are done. You are done, Dada. We break up. You call me all the assholes you want. I get that. He an asshole. Cool. You know what I mean? But if you start saying I'm doing stuff that goes against my character and how I carry myself, you start saying I'm stealing money not only from you, but I stole money from my children. Nope. No, thank you. No, thank you. Congratulations. You played yourself. and that's part of the reason why I like this season is, to me. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like, to me, I think that this is forced. And Jody Periscala had not a correction, but a clarification. Jody Periscala, 5891 $1.99 super chat. Said, sorry, I meant TLC playing mediator. Yeah, I can see TLC not only trying to play mediator, but trying to play PR agents. They're trying to clean up not only Kody's image, and they're trying to make him more connected to the other cast members because of what I said I've been saying this shit for like over a year now. When push comes down to shove, their relationships don't make sense if the show continues because they don't have independent relationships with each other. And so you can't shoot a reality show about a family and the family never talks and the people never deal with each other. I'm going to shoot a reality show about two exes who never have a conversation. That's the shortest reality show ever. That would be on YouTube Shorts, Ran into Tom at the mall this morning. What did you say to him? Nothing. End of short. Roll credits. Like that would be the shortest show ever. So they have to try to create a scenario where, one, they're trying to put together interesting things that they think are interesting to the audience. Two, it has to be layered because this reality show has to be layered with conflict, underlying conflict. David is married to Kody's ex, conflict. Kody is supposed to be so hurt and depressed at the fact that his relationships didn't work out with these women, conflict. David has an impression of Kody that Kody's an asshole because of what Christine has told him, conflict. Kody is mad because he's saying that that's a false representation of who he is, conflict. So you have all this layered conflict of these people getting together. The problem that they have, even with all the conflict and all the reality show TV gold that potentially could come out of that relationship, it doesn't make sense for the two of them to ever be in a spot together where they're going on an activity. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you get together? Oh, I mean, Kody wants to get together because he wants to get to know you better. I mean, we don't have to go on a whole event. You can call me on the phone if you want to talk to me. I don't want to be in a room with him. Don't really want to talk to him. Because it comes down to a simple thing, especially if you're a dude and you're dealing with somebody who has cut, functionally cut their children off. And you care about not only, and especially in David's situation, I don't know David, I can't speak for him, but I'm just saying from my perspective, if I'm in a relationship with a woman and she had a tumultuous past with an ex and that ex mistreated her, then I'm gonna have issues with them. If they have kids together and I realize that he's not only been mistreating that ex, my lady, whom I care about, he mistreated her, but he also mistreated their child or their kids. In Christine's case, they have kids together. And I hear all the stories, the stuff about Isabel, the stuff about him not coming around. He lived down the street, wouldn't even drive by the house and shoot Truly the damn bird as he passing the house, wouldn't even stop or hit the brakes, tap the brakes 2 times and say F you on his way back to his other kids. And he neglected her the whole way. And then you want me to have a conversation with this dude? It's impossible for me to have a conversation with him because I realize in that situation, I might have to deal with him because he is the father of my lady's children, but I'm not going to respect him. I'm not going to give him any respect, and that's a fundamental problem. I wouldn't respect that. So I don't, you know what I mean? For me, I just don't see a scenario or a situation that's not real to me that if David is a real one and he's about that life, that he's going to be in a situation where he's meeting up with Kody. And I'm curious that the only thing I'm curious about is how they're going to try to piece it together where it's okay or permissible for this to happen. Because, like, I'm just saying, like, if I'm with a lady and I figure out that she was being mistreated or abused by this joker, I'm not going out with him. I'm not going to pretend to be cool with him. Because, to be honest with you, I might even let him know up front, we ain't never going to be cool. Like, bruh, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I mean, this is one of them situations where you just out at the barbecue or the event or whatever, and you guys just over in the corner talking to yourselves, and you just with a smile on your face, you look them in the eye and say, look, man, only thing I'm waiting for is for her to get tired of your shit and for her to cut me loose. Because when she dropped that chain, dude, I'm all over your ass like a paper plate on a cup in a rainstorm, dude. I'm all over you. Okay, I'm gonna be on you like a medium ass shirt. You understand what I'm saying? I'm waiting for her to tell me that she tired of your shit, bro. You have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the party. See you around. You know what I mean? And that'd be the end of like, but I'm not. No, we are not cool. We're not gonna be cool after that. And that's not just like maybe I'm playing with the violent aspect too much, but I'm just saying like. I'm not going to be friends with him. I'm not going to be friends. I could be cordial because we have to be, right? And it's in the best interest of the child. And if I care about the child, I don't want her, I don't want to have to knock a damn daddy out. You know what I mean? Because no child should have to suffer. You got to wake your papa up. Wake up, daddy. Wake up. Wake up. Get the smelling salts. Daddy in trouble. Twitching his feet, right? No child should have to go through that. So, no, I'm not going to do nothing to him. But I'm just telling you, bro, look, I'm here now. What you're not going to do, you're not going to do, first and foremost, you're not putting her through no more shit. Okay? You're not putting her through no more stuff. She's not going through no more changes. That time is over. That time is done. So whatever you was trying to do, whatever you thought you was trying to do, I hope you got it through your system. Because if you try it now, there's a new sheriff in town, chief. Right? That's the one part of it. The other part is, what you're not going to do is you're not going to that the young lady, you know what I mean? I'm cool with her. I like her. She's a cool ass child. I dig her. And when I signed on to this relationship, I signed on as somebody who's going to be looking out for her. And if I feel like you are not doing the right thing by her, we will have a conversation. That will be the second part. So there's at least two people in this scenario. Technically, in this situation, there's 7 people that I don't want to hear no shit about. I don't want to hear nothing from none of her kids about how you doing them wrong. And we won't have a problem. Me and you won't have a problem. However, if I do find out that you trying to go back to your old ways, me and you gonna have a problem. And that's that. We just gonna have to figure the hell out. But and again, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm keep reintroducing you to your trauma. And I wouldn't support a situation where I'm continually trying to reintroduce the person who traumatized somebody I care about, and I'm continually trying to present them that there's somebody that they have to hang out with and have to deal with. If it's like that, we married. If Robin can come to the kids being dropped off, I can come to the kids being dropped off. And when I get there, do not sit up there and berate this child because she want to dye her hair purple and I don't give a shit. You didn't care enough about her to be around and tell her not to dye her hair purple. So you pick her up on the one time in 6 months since you haven't seen her, and you want to complain about her hairstyle. I might be getting out the car. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? I'm, like I said, it's just different. And that's not, that's just physicality. No, it's not about physicality. It's just like stand up for what's right. I feel like a part of me just feels like with this TLC, I feel like I'm looking at a bully. Like, you guys are supporting a bully. You don't support the bully. You support the person who's being bullied. You protect the person who's being bullied, especially if you're in a position of power. That's the responsibility of somebody who's in a position of power, for somebody who's in a position of influence, somebody who's in a position where you can make a difference. I would no more tolerate TLC sitting there letting this happen than I would if a child was in a school and because the popular kid wants to bully this child, the teacher lets it happen because, I don't want to get in trouble with his mom. His mom is like a very influential person on the school board or the PTA or whatever. I don't give a shit. It's your job, it's your position that you should be protecting and looking out for the people that you're responsible for. And TLC, whether they like it or not, you're responsible for the safety of your cast members. And that's a whole nother thing. TLC has a long-standing record of not looking out for their cast members. You can go through 90 Day. You can look at the people that they cast, Poly Family. You cast a damn dude who's, who's a PDF file. And you got him you got taping him not only with children, but he's blocking parents from talking to their kids. The little girl, he telling the dad that he can't sit there and have a conversation with the daughter because she on punishment because she a dirty damn liar. And that's what y'all doing. I watched 90 Day Fiance. They had a young lady, Jasmine. She come in there and put her hands on somebody who didn't have nothing to do with nothing. And they kept taping and everybody's celebrating. I watched the same woman throw her shoes at people on stage. They had somebody on the show for years who would violate not only her fiance or her husband, but she would go after people on the stage. Angela Deem, she would go after the other cast members. TLC didn't do shit about it. They had a person who's serving 18 years in prison for sexually taking advantage of somebody, serving 18 years for kidnapping and other related crimes. And they filmed him while he was arrested out on bail, and they filmed him going to another country to meet a different woman who he then proposed to. When he did this, the person who had accused him of this crime that he's now serving prison time for was also his fiance. TLC does not have a strong track record of looking out for their people. That's why, like I said, just because they're on TV, this might not be the best idea. Just saying. Like, I don't know. But let's get to some of the phone calls. TLC integrity. What's that? TLC integrity? All right. What? That's a new concept. But they just got, like, my opinion, TLC, y'all got to do better. You guys have to do better. Look at this. Duggars, Johnstons, Goslings, Platts. They do not care. Yeah, thank you. They do not care about their people, and they will continually put you in situations where they have you meet with people who have been abusive to you for decades and keep trying to sit you on the couch with them. This is crazy to me. It was this, and when is the episode with Christine's on? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. We need that heart rate. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. But that's actually I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. I think that actually might be a sticking point for me too, at some point, because that has to be reconciled. Like Christine's part in propagating this type of relationship, especially being as though you were living in an extremely negative version of this type of relationship. If you have something that you want to say, like, well, this relationship can work, and I know people it works great for them, say that. It just didn't work for me. Say that, but don't do the whole like polygamy doesn't work, blah blah blah. But you never come out and actually say, yeah, this shit was a mistake, you know. Or maybe she saved it for the book. But let's take a listen to some of the folks and what they had to say. Let's go through Janet. Listen to Janet first.
Hi, James. It's Janet. I'm glad you're back. I hope you had a good vacation. Was just wondering if you would consider maybe like doing like a book club or reaction to like when Christine's book comes out, or maybe when Kody goes on Special Forces. I don't really know what that is, but I feel like that might be a fun thing for us to like make fun of. Anyway, hope you're having a good night, and I'm excited you're back.
All right. Thank you so much, Janet. Yeah, I will be going through the I'm gonna read through the book and I'll discuss it generally, but I'm not gonna do a chapter by chapter book club just because like I might do a chapter review and talk about it, but I'm not gonna do any excerpts or reading from the book just because I'm not sure how litigious the publishing company is. My concern is, and I'm going to be very frank about it. My concern is this: these publishing companies put out a lot of money to Christine. It's one thing for me to talk about it because that's me advertising, basically advertising their product. It's another thing for me to read their products online because they could very easily say, claim copyright infringement and say that I'm preventing people from buying the book because I'm basically giving away the product. So I don't want to, I'm very hesitant to delve those waters, but I will do a review on the book. With regard to Special Forces, I think I will do the review of Special Forces. Like when it comes out, I'll do it week by week because, like I said, there are other people on there. There are people on that show, and this might sound crazy, but there's a couple people on that show who very well could be way worse than Kody. Way worse than Kody. Cody's a bad deal. Not a big deal, bad deal. But there's a couple people on this show that's like, you know what I mean? Piles of excrement incarnate. We'll say it that way. So I will be going through that. But thank you so much for that that message. Let me give you a little something. Give you a round of applause. Got a super chat. Charlie Patton, 1999 super chat. Exactly. My best friend and husband of over 16 years, 17 years ago, took the phone when my abusive ex called and told him she's with me now. Don't call back. We started dating a week later. Okay, player. Tom got his ass on the phone. Don't call her no more. She with me now. Just so you know, for those who may be uninitiated, all homeboy was saying was just so you know, she don't have no time for your bullshit, dog. And what you're not going to do, you're not going to complicate my situation. We are together. I'm having a fun time. I'm digging her. She's cool peeps. And if you call back here, you and I are going to have a conversation. I love it. But let me read that one more time. Exactly. My best friend and husband of over 16 years, 17 years ago, took the phone when my abusive ex called and told him she's with me now. Don't call back. We started dating a week later. He was putting his bid in. He was like, look, I will be that man you need me to be, girlfriend. And I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. You know, because at the end of the day, look, I'm gonna keep it all the way above. If you come from a bad relationship, especially a relationship where you are being taken advantage of, it behooves you as the current partner to like most partners want to protect each other. And this isn't a man protecting a woman because she wake up. This is partners protecting each other, right? And what you're doing is you come from a situation where the ex has with whatever type of mistreatment it is, abusive treatment it is, whether it's physical, mental, sexual, whatever, doesn't make a difference. Well, it does, but overall, there's a feeling that's created where you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe because historically, the person who was supposed to protect you was the person who was doing you the most harm. So you don't feel safe. So it behooves your current partner, or in this particular case, with her husband of 16 years, a week later, got the cash out. But it behooves you to establish that, look, I am here to keep you safe. I'm going to protect you the same way I hope you protect me. I'm going to look out for you and I got your back. I got you. That's what people want. Like when you're in those type of relationships, that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that your next person, look, when it comes to safety, security, it comes to your health, your mental health, your physical health, I got you. I got you covered. I'm down with you. I'm riding with you. I'm rolling with you. Whatever you need, I got you. And when that other person who used to mistreat them comes back into their area or their situation, that person says, look here, I got you. This person is never going to do that to you again. You're never going to be in a situation where you feel like that again, where that person is putting you in a position where they're threatening you or whatever the case may be. That's not going to happen because I got you. And that means a lot. That means the world to that person. And it's important. And there's also a point too where even in the cycle of mistreatment, I have to be careful about how many times I say the A word, but the cycle of mistreatment, there's always the romanticism. There's always the curative position where they're begging it's gonna be different. Oh, things have changed. I'm not gonna do it no more. I'm a different person. Oh, I was just so crazy. I don't know what happened. That's not who I am. Blah, blah. Right? That position always exists. And then because they've treated you that way and they've grown accustomed to treating you that way, they could slip back into that old position as easy as running nice warm water into a bath. You slide into that bath water. They slip back into that same position that they were. They could flip like that. And the person who is with you, I'm not going to encourage them to continue hanging out with somebody just because he seemed different and he's nice like he used to be. And, he must have worked his shit out. And so it's all good. No, I'm not going to go hang out with him and I'm not going to normalize him. I'm not going to come back and tell her, yeah, did you have a good time hanging out with the guy who used to mistreat me all them years? Did you have a good time? I'm not going to look her in the face and say, yeah, he's awesome. He's cool. He's very charismatic. He's amazing. He's so funny. He is such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. Because the crazy part to me is this. How many damn times has the person who's been victimized by this person, right? How many times have they gone somewhere and heard about how amazing that abusive person was? Because they not, let's be honest, some of them are very charismatic. They're very friendly. They're very personable. They'll get out there in a room full of people smiling, laughing, clapping back, shaking hands, kissing babies. Oh, they're the life of the party until you get home. When you get home, they trying to exercise all their demons on your ass. Okay? They're a different person. It's like a light switch in them. In the streets in public, they are, the most wonderful, giving, caring people. They looked at it. Oh man, I wish I had a relationship like you had, man. Your relationship is awesome. He's amazing. She's wonderful. Oh wow, how did you get so lucky? You get home, it's a whole different other story. You go from fantasy land, you go from fantasy island to Nightmare on Elm Street. And how many times did she have to listen about how great this man was while she's keeping that secret, while she's wearing long sleeve shirts, while she's wearing turtlenecks in the damn summertime? When she go to the beach and refuse to take her damn clothes off, don't want to show her legs, don't want to wear skirts, got to wear pants or some kind of legging, because they don't want to show the bruises on her leg. How many times did she hear about while she's walking around battered, did she hear about how wonderful this man was? And you telling me I'm going to go out on a special day with this motherfucker? Pardon my French. And talk and come back and tell about how wonderful he is? That's not going to cause a problem? Just saying. Like, I just don't, I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it too personal, reading too much into it. But it's just, I just don't, I'm not a fan of this. Daddy don't like. Daddy don't like this. It don't make sense to me. You're not going to abuse my lady and I'm going to go out and be your buddy. You know what I mean? Like, I might be cool with you. And like I said, it's like we have the relationship. Again, I will say this once again. We have the type of relationship that I know people who have police dogs and guard dogs, things like that. Dogs friendly as hell till they get the command. Okay. Or they feel like the person is in trouble. Friendly as hell. You look at this little fur baby. Oh, look at that. Oh, big boy. Look at that. That dude to get an order. That dog. That's me and dude. You know what I mean? We go out, ha ha ha, he, ho ho ho. At the kids, graduations and weddings and things of that nature. Ha ha ha, he, ho ho ho. He say the wrong damn thing though. You get too loose with your mouth. You get too loose with your mouth. It's a whole damn problem. So I mean, I can appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? He's sitting there, ha ha ha, he. I'm grief. All of a sudden, on your ass. Well, yeah, let me give you a little something. Thank you so much, Charlie. Give you a little something. Out this world. Yeah, but I feel you. I feel you on that front. That's just how it go. Like that, because it's, I don't know. Like, especially with, like, you should always take care of your partner's heart and try to be considerate of, where they are. But I think especially if somebody whom you cared about has been traumatized in some kind of way, you have to, part of your duty and part of your responsibility is that you have to take extra special care to be mindful of how they feel about things. It's not just about like, oh, we're going to be mature. We got to be adults about this. It's about me making sure you're okay. You know what I mean? And if you need me to not, be best buddies with your ex, then that's cool with me. I'm fine with it. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to be friends. Okay. Especially if, like I said, it's a respect. For me, it's a respect thing. I can't respect a man who mistreated his wife or his woman or his lady or his kids. Can't respect the woman who do the same thing. So no, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be like, you're not a person. You're not the caliber of person that if, but for this relationship, are you the kind of person, and this is a question I would ask myself, are you the kind of person whom I would spend my time with, but for the fact that you dated my current person, are you the kind of person that if, aside from that, I just ran into you at a bar, a club, a baseball game or whatever, and we got to talking, are you the kind of person that I would spend my time with? And if the answer is no, then why the hell am I spinning over backwards to hang out with somebody whom I wouldn't normally hang out with just because they happen to be in a relationship with somebody I'm currently in a relationship with? And not only did they used to be in that relationship, but they mistreated and took advantage and abused that relationship and the person that I care about. Why would I? What? That doesn't make any sense. And again, that calls into question, for me, that would call into question the character of David. And why you would even want to hang out with his ass. I wouldn't want to hang out with him. Especially if the stuff with the kids, especially, because you supposed as the bonus parent, you're supposed to pretend like it's none of your business. But come on. You're there, and even if truly never cried about him not being around, it would bother me. It would bother because I know he should be around. She don't know the difference, but I do. Especially if I'm an involved parent. I am an involved parent. And I know that you should be around when she has things going on in her life. You should be there. When I started dating her mama, you should have been calling my ass to meet with me and talk to me when you found out that me and her mom was serious. And the fact that you didn't do that, I don't know what I'm supposed to respect, bro. I don't know. But we had Charlie Patton. Okay, once again with the $9.99 super chat. James, you're not reading too much into it. Thank you for exposing what life like that feels like and how it feels to finally be loved and cared for. You rocked it. Oh, thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. But yeah, I just, because like I said, there, like when you're in those bad situations, there's a point where we just have to recognize that there's a point where not only is there hard feelings for the person who mistreated you, there's also residual hard feelings, even though, and I want to be very clear about this, even though it's not your fault. It's not your fault that this happened. It's whoever was doing the wrong. They bear responsibility. But too often, people who have been in these situations, they will take partial, if not more blame than they ever deserve for being in that situation. They see themselves as failing themselves because I allowed this person to come into my life and I allowed this to happen. I allowed them to treat me like this. And it's the first time I should have left, but I didn't. And I allowed it. And then you're coming into that situation. So there's a lot of tragedy and there's a lot of trauma there that has to be dealt with. And it's not just, it's not all on the person that you're with. They can't fix you, but this is things that you're working through. And what I'm not going, as a partner, I wouldn't put you in a situation where you have to feel like you're back to asking those questions again. You shouldn't have to ask those questions again. Like what happened to you is abnormal. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like me going out with the abusive ex is normalizing that bad behavior. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Like I said, I don't know what the circumstances were to put them on the side of that track together. I'm just saying I would be hard pressed to be on that track together with him because I'm not going to normalize what happened to you. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like that shit is normal or it's cool or it's okay. It's fine. It's something we got to get past. No, you can be mad. You have every right to be angry. You have every right to feel like this never should have happened to you. He never should have treated you that way. And you damn sure didn't deserve it. because nobody deserves to be treated that way. Nobody deserves to be put in fear, especially in a situation where you're in fear in your own house. I'm a big proponent of like home should feel safe, and you should never be in a situation where you don't feel safe, especially with people who are responsible for your safety. As a partner, male, female, you're responsible for your partner's safety, right? You shouldn't feel unsafe around me. Now we go out and some shit go down and we get, we be on the corner, we like, click, click, click. Like, you know what I mean? Run them jewels, fool. You got to both get robbed at the same time. Okay, well, you don't feel safe because of something else that happened. But we can hold hands while we walking away without no shoes on, together. But I'm not going to be the cause of you not feeling safe. And nor am I going to co-sign somebody who didn't make you feel safe, or tell that person that it's okay to date him, because that's part of, like, I don't know. Because I think that has to be part of the unspoken understanding between you as the current partner and the ex abusive partner. In order for you to hang out, at some point, verbally or non-verbally, especially, you have to basically say what happened was okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're past it. We're over it. We're in a different situation now. Things are different. You won't be able to do it to her again. So we'll just pretend like it's okay. It's not okay. I don't know. Maybe I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be, but I don't care. I just can't do that. I can't hang out with you. Like, we can't be friends. Because again, I don't hang out with people. If I found a good friend of mine was taking advantage of mistreating his wife, me and that dude are not friends no more. I don't care what happened, what we've been through. We are not friends. You don't get to go hit up your family and chastise and abuse your family and then come back and we go hang out, watch the game together. No, that's not happening. You know what I mean? And I'm damn sure not hanging out with somebody if I meet you because you threw away your previous relationship and you mistreated that person and I happen to be in a relationship with them and the only reason I know you is through them, then we damn sure not going to be friends. Sorry, not sorry. Like, it's just, I don't know. And Kody could be a wonderful man. He could be a wonderful man, but you're not going to hang out with me. You know what I mean? I watch you mistreat your kids, wife and kids, and I'm like, I'll go race cars with them. Man, the last thing you want to do is put my ass behind a steering wheel and you out there on the side of the road, Jack. He's coming around that corner at 150 miles an hour. He is coming down. He is picking up speed, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, he's off the road. You try to get that dude blown in the mist. What are you talking about? Like, so no, we're not cool. We're never gonna be cool. But thank you so much, Charlie. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your kind words as well. And I'm happy that you found somebody who treats you as you deserve to be treated. Not a fan. Not a fan. But yeah. But let me do the next call. We had Janet. Oh, Janet was asking about the book club. Oh, let's do a Candace.
Hey James, Candace here. I know you were on the fence about watching Special Forces with Kody, but I think we're all very curious to see Cody's reaction when the castmates have no clue who he is. That's going to bruise his big ego. And from what I've heard, I've been researching, the show does like psych testing. Maybe not testing, but they get the background of each of the castmates. And so the instructors and the people involved in the show, the producers and everything, they know like what your background is, what your whole story is about. So I'm curious to see them call Kody out for his crap behavior of being a deadbeat bum dad to his kids, bullying women, pretty much abusing women, financially, emotionally, everything, being the biggest narcissist ever. So I'm just curious, and I could see Kody pulling a Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin tapped out, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get hurt. It's in my contract." Cody's gonna give some lame excuse why he has to get off the show. And I'm just curious what you think he's gonna do with his hair. Is he gonna put it in a cap? How is he gonna deal with his hair without all these products and all that? Anyway, have a good day. Bye bye.
That was awesome. The sound was a little tweaky, but the Candace is spot on. Like the weird part about a lot of these shows, they pull you onto the show because of your past, because of the thing that you're famous for. And in Cody's case, there's no reason to pull him on the show when he comes from, other than the fact that he comes from a polygamist show, which is viewed as a misogynistic practice. And so you pull him onto the show with ladies who see themselves as strong and or independent, right? These dang old modern women, as Kody would say. You're like a modern woman because you want to be able to make decisions for yourself and have your own bank account and shit, make financial decisions instead of relying on the wisdom of a man, right? These damn modern women's. So they're going to have some modern women. And it would be a waste of time to have something like a target rich, we'll use tactical terminology. It would be a disservice for the show to have a target rich environment like Kody, where he has so many things that you could attack him on and talk to him about and hit him with, that they don't bring it up. I would be surprised that a few of them aren't debriefed as to who else is on the show, what they're about, and then maybe even give them an opportunity to look them up or see what's going on in their life. Especially because, let's be honest, them just having an argument about, I told you to pull the rope. No, you pull the rope because we got to be able to do this stuff. Come on, let's go. That's one thing, but it's another thing, especially when you bring them onto the show. You go and get these individuals. The reason why you get them is because you want them to bring up the fact that Kody don't talk to his kids. You get into an argument, they bring up like, that's why you lost 3 wives, because you just don't know how to talk to women. That's why you don't talk to none of your kids. Those drop the mic moments. That's why you bring them on the show. So yeah, they're going to tell them exactly who Kody is. They might never have heard of him, and this is a possibility. They might never have heard of him prior to the show, but I'm sure they'll get a full rundown on who he is, what he's about, what his weaknesses are, what he's criticized for, what he's famous for. And even the instructors are going to definitely know. I'm sure they got jackets on everybody. They did a full workup on them. The other part of it that I thought Candace brought up was interesting. She said, what about the hair care products? I had not thought of that. Because if they have them out like traipsing all over mountains and shit, that is not a time when they're like, oh yeah, let's get hair and makeup here and position his sunglasses just so perfect so that little strand of hair don't come loose. Homeboy might be having some serious malfunctions on that mountain, So this might be the last season for what they used to refer to as the fifth wife. The fifth wife might be getting cut too. So we shall see. We shall see. Go, Candace. Get a little something, Candace. Get a little something. Very good. Ooh, scared myself. Turn the volume all the way up. Like, what the shit? What is going on? He here. Kody's here. Send the Marines. Next up, we have Tanya Kata.
So I kind of want to talk about Mary and her reactions lately. I feel like Mary had alluded a couple seasons ago in a couch interview when she was like, my voice will be heard. I will not be silenced. Almost like she was going to write a book. is how I took it. And then obviously nothing happened. I think Mary is all talk. I think that she's jealous that Christine has written a book and that it's somewhat of a tell all. And I think that instead of her just being, happy for her sister wife and getting her truth out, it's like, okay, you slept on it, you didn't do it, just be happy for her. I feel like she is being petty, which Mary is petty, and is going on interviews, basically talking about how she feels like, the other sister wives are um, spilling tea and they're not, being mature about the breakup. And I think it's jealousy. I think at the same time, she is also spilling tea. She was recently in an interview with a YouTuber that she's gone on with a couple times. And she's talking about, things that happened at the Lehigh house. And it's like, okay, how do you judge somebody else for doing a tell all book, basically? And then you're out here spilling the tea, with your little buddies on YouTube. Mary's just very petty. And I also want to know.
Oh, she got cut off. But she did leave a second message. We'll just roll right into it. So
But wait, there's more.
And I also want to know what really happened with this quote unquote abuse that Mary doled out on Christine's children. Mainly, the only one that claims that there was abuse is McKelty. And she's gone on her Patreon, and people have asked several times, like, what did Mary do to you? Like, make it plain, like you can't accuse somebody of abusing you and then not make it plain. Like, it's just like alluded. We're just supposed to be out here guessing what we think happened, which is not right. I don't like Mary, but it's not right. Like, say it or retract it. And McKelty on her Patreon, all she has said is that Mary was verbally abusive to her. And I'm not saying that being verbally abused is lesser than being physically abused, but like, what are we talking about? Was she just, I know Mary was more strict. I know McKelty was very defiant. Did she spank her? Because honestly, like, I got whooped like almost every single week because I was very defiant myself as a child. I don't look back at it and say, oh my God, I was abused and traumatized. Like, it is what it is. I need some clarification. Like, say exactly what it is or keep her name out of your mouth, as Robin would say.
all right. All right. Well, let's break it down into two sections because I think two things were covered. With regard to the allegations, let's go serious first. I would say from front to back, I 100% agree with Mrs. Kataz's perspective on that. Like, I think that if she mistreated you or if something was going on, please let us know. Don't sit up there and pretend like, oh, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to mess up the show or whatever the
And I
case may
also
be.
want to know
Uh-oh.
what
What the hell?
really happened.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm gonna mess up the show, or I don't want things to go bad. Let us know. I mean, if something was happening, let us know. Like, cause don't sit up here and allow us. And this is part of one of the things that just annoys the shit out of me about these types of relationships. Don't have us celebrating somebody or supporting somebody who is a monster. Okay. So you owe it to yourself to say something. That first and foremost, you owe it to yourself to say something. Because if it's your truth, ride your truth out. Secondly, with regard to that, if it's not true, if it's just something like, don't just drop little insinuations because you think it might spice the show up. That would be something that I would also be concerned about. Don't just say things because you think it'll be interesting, it'll get you attention, and it's like one plot point that we could talk about and exploit, because frankly, that's not a plot point. Anybody who's ever suffered through that type of situation, this is a very real, painful thing that occurred to them, very traumatic thing that occurred to them, and they don't deserve to have uh, their experiences satired because you're trying to get more attention or you're trying to bolster the ratings or get people to talk about the show more. Like, I don't think that shit is appropriate. So if you have something, come out with it. And it's not fair to somebody who is innocent to have it hinted that they did something and they didn't do that thing. Because again, it's not only a disservice to the person who is being falsely accused, but it's also a disservice to people who have undergone this experience, because every time it comes out that this person or that person is falsely accused, nobody, like when you have these discussions, I'll rewind it a little bit. When you have these discussions with folks, nobody says, look at all these cases where this is what's going on. Look at all the cases where things were happening and it goes unreported. So it's far more, this is a far more prevalent occurrence than is even reported on in crime statistics, so on and so forth. Right? Nobody ever does that. People usually do that in retort to the other claim, which, you say all this happens, and in most cases, people don't go back and tell, people don't report, and they say, yeah, but remember that one case where that person lied, and the damage that one case caused, at one time that this happened, and the person wasn't telling the whole truth, or they were being deceptive, or they were upset because they were being told that they can't go to school with their ass hanging out like Prince back in the 90s with the Kiss pants, got their whole behind hanging out. And I can't do that. And you yelled at me, it hurt my feelings, told me my behind can't be demonstrated to the class because it's not something worth seeing. That's not what I said. I said, you can't go show your ass to everybody, girl. No, oh, you're mistreating me. Like, I want to know what it is. Like, I just want, give us the opportunity. And that's the one case that everybody talks about. That's the one case when you try to create legislation, you try to create protections, you try to get funding for homes to protect women when they leave, or individuals who are victimized, even children who are victimized in these abusive settings or situations. When you try to get those money, that dollar, you try to create legislation. Those are the cases that they bring up. The one or two cases where somebody lied and or leveled a false accusation. So it doesn't help. Jussie Smollett looking at you. It doesn't freaking help. It doesn't help. So from that respect, I feel what Tanya was saying. Like, Mary's probably not my favorite character on the show, but at the same time, I don't want to see her. Like, if she didn't do it, I don't want to see her get smashed out for something she didn't do. But at the same time, I don't want to celebrate somebody and take up, I'm talking about I wouldn't go riding with Kody, because if he was mistreating the ladies, you shouldn't, as your boyfriend, you shouldn't ride with him. I don't want to support somebody who's doing that. Just me. The other part of it, Tanya does bring up a good point. And I want to take it to a place where she didn't go as far as I'm going to go with it. Because we live in extreme. Tanya said that there was a point where Mary had said, I'm going to tell my truth. And I will not be silenced. Right. That was very strongly hinted that Mary was going to write a tell-all book. And I get it. There might come a time when you say, like, I've even criticized like the ladies for, giving Kody that shine, because Kody loves the fact that they keep talking about him. Robin loves the fact they keep talking about him. Part of me is like, stop talking about his ass, because you're making him stronger, right? You're feeding the beast. So, but at the same time, even Betty Aldridge, she pointed it out, and I agree with her also, that as somebody who is in a bad situation, the person that you should be able to talk about it with is your partner, right? You should be able to say to your partner, this is what happened. This is what was going on. This is how I felt. This is how he mistreated me. This is what he did. These are the specifics of this particular situation. They're going to hear all kinds of stuff. And to be honest with you, let's keep it all the way a stack. You're going to hear it more than once. You're going to hear about those instances of mistreatment more than one time and how they felt. And you'll watch them relive it as they talk about it. And hopefully the pain, even though they may relive it, they have more laughter or recognition of how silly it was that they had to live like that, than pain in their eyes after they've talked to you and they've begun healing from that situation. Mary criticized these ladies for that. And what's funny to me is that I won't say that Mary, Miss Tanya Kata, Miss Kata, Tanya Carter, she said that, it's kind of out of step for Mary to do it. I would take it as far as say it's hypocritical, because you're criticizing these women for talking about Kody, your ex-husband. But you sit in a room and you let your friends talk shit about your ex-husband. And it doesn't matter whether you participate in it or not. If you have the audacity to go after Mary or Janelle and Christine for talking shit about someone who is technically their ex-husband too, they were having a whole ass relationship with him too. So they have every right to talk about and redress and discuss and feel about their relationship with him just as much as you do. If you choose to not talk shit about Kody, that's your business. If you want to get past it and you don't want to think bad of the past and you did the best you could and he was a good person and you guys were really in love because you loved each other and he just happened to fall out of love with you, right? And you, whatever thing you tell yourself, that's your business. But if they need to say it or voice it or joke around about it or clown his ass for them to find peace and find their sense of closure, actual closure, when you find peace and reconciliation in dealing with your current reality and where you are now, that's closure to me, then that's what they need to do. And they have more right to do that than your friends who you sit there and let, clown Kody all the time, talk shit about Kody, talk shit about Robin, and you just sit there and sniggle and giggle with them. So if you want to keep it all the way a stack, you got to tell, when Jen, best friend Jen, says, you got to realize that Kody's a monster. If you don't let Christine and Janelle, whom each gave him 6 kids apiece, they gave him 12 kids between the two of them. If they can't say Kody's an asshole, then Jen needs to shut the hell up. You need to shut all the way the hell up. I don't disagree with Jen either. I'm going to keep it all the way a stack because that's what friends do. Friends let friends know. Friends don't let friends drive asshole boyfriends. So I'm not disagreeing with what Jen said, but I'm just saying if you want to keep it consistent, you have to tell Jen to shut the hell all the way up. If you want to tell Christine and Janelle to shut up, you guys can't talk about it. You need to be mature. And let's talk about that maturity thing. What's crazy to me is we've hit a point where somehow it's mature. Like we talk about David and Kody going out, driving the cars or whatever. Some people will make the argument that James, David being able to go out and spend a Sunday afternoon with Christine's ex-husband, that is a sign of maturity. I beg to differ. I don't think it's a sign of maturity for you to support somebody who victimized somebody that you cared about. I don't think that's maturity. I don't think it's maturity for you to allow somebody to victimize you. I don't think that's maturity. I don't think it's maturity for you to continually put yourself in a situation where you can continually be victimized. I don't think that that's a sense of maturity. I don't. The mature thing is for you to be able to recognize these situations, deal with them as you need to deal with them, to get through them as you need to get through them. To me, that's maturity. Whether it's whatever means you need to take, if it's you being petty, oh, you're being petty, you're not being mature. If that's what you need to do for your mental health, then petty away. Petty the fuck away. But we can't tell you to do or expect you to act a certain way just because we don't feel a certain way about it. Look, at the end of the day, I could feel about Kody however I choose to feel about it. That's why, I mean, to be honest with you, I might talk a lot of trash about these. I wish they would have left earlier, but at the end of the day, I recognize that they had to find their own time to leave, because it's easy for me to say that Christine should have walked out, Janelle should have walked out, Mary should have walked out, maybe Kody never should have married Robin. It's easy for me to say that. You know why? Because I'm not in the situation. If they, when they left, my situation didn't change one stitch. I was never concerned that, oh shit, I gotta pack a bag and move now because Janelle is breaking up with Kody. That wasn't a thing. So it's easy for me to sit on the sidelines on the outside and criticize their relationship and talk about what they should be doing, because it doesn't affect me either way. I recognize that. I recognize that. So that's why I'm saying, like, so when I'm sitting there talking about maturity is what you need to do in order for you to maintain your mental health, whatever you need to do so you can get through it. Not how everybody else get through it. You don't need, James is so immature that you would sit there and have a problem with your ex's boyfriend. I don't give a shit. If that's what I need to do to make her feel like she's protected and she's valuable, because she is valuable to me. She might have been dog shit to him, but she's valuable to me, and I protect what I feel is valuable. I'm willing to go to the mat for mine. And to him, like, I would tell him straight up, whatever you think you're going to do to me, just know that I will do the same thing to you. Just more of it and more often. So let's get it straight, because I'm passionate about mine. If you just, especially half these jokers, they're not even calling because they want them back. They're not calling, coming around because they trying to, rekindle shit. They calling because they trying to regain that control. Let's call it what it is. So no, I'm not going to let you come back in, and I'm not going to put you in a position where you have the opportunity to hurt them again. Which was not going to happen is, and if you hurt them again, it's not going to be because I open up the door and I let them in, or I'm sitting up there trying to be cool with them because I'm trying to be mature. Sorry, not sorry. To me, that's maturity. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? That's crazy to me. Like you play with them if you want to. Like, I'm not making this shit normal. I'm not normalizing. I'm not pretending like it's okay. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm cool with it. That's just the way y'all relationship worked out. And then Kody gonna come in. What did Kody say when he was sitting on the couch? You know what I mean? Oh, we all gotta be mature. We need to stop talking crap about each other. While you're talking, it's easy for you to say stop talking shit about me when you're sitting there holding everybody freaking money. You rip everybody off and be like, why are we talking about the money still? No, we gonna keep talking about the damn money till I get my money back. Then maybe I'll stop talking about it. But I ain't never gonna stop talking about how you a thief. Sorry, not sorry. But that's the mature James. You're supposed to forgive. No, see, the whole thing is that forgiveness is not forgetting. Did we forget that part? Forgiveness is not forgetting. You forgive for you. I forgive you so I don't have to walk around with that burden of that bullshit that you put on me. That's why I forgive you. I have to move past. That's about my mental health. Like I said, that's maturity, because I'm protecting my mental health. So I forgive you. But I'm not signing up to forget. You can take my name off that list. I'm not forgetting. I'm not forgetting what you did to her. I'm not. And if she forgets and she tries not to remember, I understand. Like, I understand if you were with a woman or a person who's been mistreated before and they need to forget for their own mental health, and they need to put it out of their mind and pretend like it happened to somebody else and it didn't happen to them, or whatever they need to do so they can get through it. That's their business. But I will remember. I will be the keeper of the scrolls. I will remember. I will remember. And I will not sit here and pretend like, because you're trying to be mature and you're trying to get past it. I'm not going to sit here and let this dude come back in and treat you like that again. I'm not standing by and letting it happen. It's not going to happen. Not on my watch. Not today, sir. Not today. So I'm not sure what is going on or why he was on the side of the road. I'm just telling you, my ass wouldn't be on the side. I wouldn't be on the side of the road with him. We're gonna go out to the I know the name of that place, too. they went to. They have them all over the country. You go down, you rent a sports car. Like they have Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, and something else. I think they might have Aston Martin or something like that. You can rent those cars and drive them around the track as fast as you can. And they have like a guy who will sit there and try to coach you through it. You can still get killed on that shit. This is a freaking car. But I'm not doing that. And we damn sure not going to be racing. Who got the best time? No. So we could talk about that? Not likely. James, you're being petty. You're being childish. That's not childish to me. Me protecting my stuff is not childish. Me protecting my lady in my relationship is not childish. That's not childish. Me protecting, even though they're not my kids, me protecting the children that I deal with is not childish. And I don't know where we get that point. Like, oh, all of a sudden you childish because you would meet that aggression, violently. But I mean, I am not, because I'm not standing for. I refuse to stand for the shit. I don't know, because that's why I'm saying, like, that was like some of the stuff that I watched during the trailer. Those are my initial thoughts. I'm flabbergasted. I don't know why TLC is doing it this way. Well, I do know why. Money. Even with the cast members signing up to do this foolishness, nobody is doing this shit in real life. This is not real. This is not how it works out. Especially if I found out, like, I would, if my lady came to me and she had this type of relationship, and she came to me and told me that, yeah, I want you to go out, or I want to go meet with him because I want to talk to him because we got to get past it. Look, babe, like, you don't need to do that shit. I'm trying to be mature about it. Like, how you broke up is how you start that next chapter. If your breakup was messy as hell, either way, good or bad, you're going to need time. You're going to need time to heal. You're going to need time to put things in perspective. You're going to need time to put things where they need to be in order for you to be able to meet them where they are, not where they used to be and who you perceive them to be in the past. Right? And depending on how you ended your relationship will be determinative about how much time you may need or require in order for you to get to a point where you can deal with them as they are today and not how they were in the past, especially if they were mistreating you. Because if you're dealing with them how you used to deal with them in the past, then that just pulls you back into the cycle, or you're meeting them with an extreme negative perspective, and it's not going to benefit anybody anyway. So again, I'm just at that point where I get it. You guys are about the money and you trying to keep the show going. That's all fine and good. But my whole point and purpose is that I'm going to state and I'm going to stand on business. And I'm going to tell you that I don't think that this shit is wise. I don't think that this is maturity. I don't think that this is how it's supposed to work. I don't think that this is what you should be doing. Now, you very well may have people who are in a professional field who will come out and say, well, this is exactly what needs to happen. They need to have open communications. There is a time and a fucking place for that kind of thing to happen. And it's not right after. If she's still dealing with, because if Christine is still bringing things up and you hear her talking, even during the course of this trailer, she says that Kody, she doesn't ever want to be with Kody. She talks about how he was mistreating and abused her. Even up until last season, she was talking about that. She's not in a position where she's ready to be mature and act like she can have a relationship with this man. She's not ready. She's not ready. And you can't force people to be ready because you think, and you read a textbook when you was in college, and in the textbook they said if you open up the lines of communication, you could start a fucking friendship. That's not a thing. There's theory and there's practicum. Like, you have to deal with stuff as it is in reality, not what a textbook say you should do, or a book say you should do, or the guy you studied under. You guys should be able to get together and do it for the kids. You know what we do for the kids? We don't argue in front of the kids. We don't fight in front of the kids. If he called and he has a question about where the kid is going, what the kid is doing, who the kid is spending their time with, I'll answer those questions. If they want to find out what I'm doing on Friday or Saturday night on my day off, and what I'm doing with my person that I choose to spend my time with, that's none of your damn business. That's none of your business. That's not up for discussion because we don't have that type of friendship. Just like when you go to work and we manage different types of friendships all the time. We manage different types of friendships all the time. I don't go to work and tell people about my love life. I don't, you know what I mean? You manage different types of friendships all the time. So you can manage this type of friendship, even though you're two parents and you should be able to have conversations. That's a relationship that you have to manage. And it's going to be managed differently than it was when you guys were together. That's my whole point. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And like I said, moving forward, as Kody said, you get the cloak of charity with each other. That cloak of charity, as far as I'm concerned, especially moving into season 20, here we burning that cloak of charity. That cloak of charity has no sway. So we're gonna keep it all the way a buck. We're gonna talk about things as they are, not how we wish they were. We're gonna discuss things in a way where it makes sense. It has to make sense. And what I saw in that trailer, a lot of it just didn't make any damn sense. Okay? Like we're not gonna go out there, and what we're not gonna do, I'm not, if I had to call a damn lawyer and hire a lawyer like Kody Pass, if I had to hire a lawyer for Kody Pass, I'm not going out there. You're not going to stand there and tell me about the gift that you're giving me and how I'm so fortunate that you're just allowing me to have my share of this land that I fucking paid for. What? I had to hire a lawyer to get this done. Don't sit up here and tell me that the reason why you're being fair is because your beautiful, gorgeous, kind wife is telling you to be good. And if she's keeping you from doing the stuff to me that you want to do because you're so evil. Don't tell me that shit. And again, this is the person that David is hanging out with. I base a lot of my relationships, I base my interactions on not on just how people treat me, but how they treat people around them, especially people that they think they have power over. This comes to the old adage of things that like your parents probably told you, your elders told you when you were a young person, especially dudes. You take somebody out, a young lady, you see how they treat the wait staff, people they think they have power over. If they treat them like human beings, which they are, they're just there earning a living. You go to work, you get paid for your time. They're here at their job. They're getting paid for their time. They're no better or less than you. They're the same as you are. So you treat them with the same dignity and respect you wish to be treated at your damn job. And if they go there and they treat them with any less than that respect, you know what you're dealing with. Because today they laughing and talking shit about that waiter. Tomorrow they laughing and talking shit about you. Today they trying to belittle that the receptionist at the hotel. Tomorrow they trying to belittle you. Today they're talking about how they're devaluing the person who is giving them coffee in the morning at the Starbucks or whatever. And tomorrow they're doing the same damn thing to you. You can learn how people treat people is how they treat people. It's just a matter of whether it's your turn or not. And so if I'm David and I'm watching, Christina's still cool with Janelle. So he's hearing all the stories and you're listening to how Janelle is struggling trying to get her land back, the money that she put in. You know about that. He would know about that more intimately than I do. And from what I heard, there's no way in the world I'm going to go hang out with that guy. You don't get to, even if you weren't mistreating my woman, the fact that you were doing it to anybody, I'm not hanging out with you. So we're going to keep it all the way a buck. I think I might go back and I might actually watch the damn trailer and break that shit apart and give my actual feeling all the way up till the airing of the show, which I think is like the 25th. I want to say it's like the 25th or something, whatever that Sunday is. It's going to come out. And we're going to be on top of them. And we're going to stay on Kody neck. Like, I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. We're going to keep it all the way a buck. And if any of the wives, I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack on them too. We just gonna be honest about it. You know, that's just where I am with this whole situation. But before I go, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the speak pipe if you guys want to leave a message, and I'll play the message and respond to it, much like I did tonight. Hit it on speakpipe.com/my take on reality. I want to make sure I thank Janet, Candace, and of course, Tanya Kata for leaving speak pipe messages. Let me give them a little something. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. And for the folks who are members, guess what, members? We're gonna be doing I'm gonna do a members live tomorrow at noon. So make sure you mark your calendars. So we do a little members live at noon tomorrow. It'll be a short one, but it'll be short, but relevant. Hear what you guys are thinking about, how things are going, and all that good stuff. So I look forward to talking to you guys then. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, so we'll keep it loose, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, but thank you guys so much. Before we go, I want to make sure I give a huge shout out to our mega mods. Of course, I saw the OG, triple OG, Lizzie B in the house. I didn't see Brett or Caramel Cuties. Oh, Caramel Cuties up in the house. Yeah. So big shout out to Lizzie B, and of course the lady Caramel Cuties up in the house. Brittany, not Brittany. Salute. She didn't get a chance to make it tonight, which is fine. But give a huge shout out to them holding things down in the chat, as well as everybody who participated in chat, everybody who left super chats and all that good stuff and was participating, staying positive. You guys were absolutely fun tonight. You were a pleasure to deal with, But let me give you a little something. I feel much better now. I feel much better now that I was able to release. That's the whole purpose of why I started doing these lives, because I had to come up with a point to release some of this energy. And as I think Tanya Carter said it the best, and I think even Lizzie B said it. Like, when push them down the shove, I know Caramel Cutie said it. You get to the point where you be talking to people in your house, they don't really watch the show, be like, what the hell? Why are you so fired up always talking about this Kody Brown? And who the hell is he? Like, so I appreciate you guys. I feel like, you know what? I
have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
I feel like I'm in a good position. I had a lot of fun with you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Make sure you stay tuned for your members. For the members, make sure you hit me up tomorrow. We'll be running at noon. And I'll see everybody else. I'll see you on Sunday. We're going to have the call-in show at 7 p.m. And this is in preparation of when the show starts. We're going to be doing back to the after hours. So I'm trying to give everybody a little bit of a break, because it's kind of crazy to start like the lives at like 10 o'clock every week, even when the show's not on. I'm a little mad, if we're going to keep it all the way above, just between me and you. I'm a little upset with TLC, because TLC used to run it in such a way that if Sister Wives was going to air on Friday, like say it came out on Sunday, you would have the show available to you Sunday morning, which means that we could run a show, the after show, a little earlier. Everybody will have an opportunity to see the show at their own leisure. We'll be able to run the show at a reasonable time and be able to get people, off and ready for work the next day and sleeping and everything else. But now they run this damn show so late, and they won't, they limit who can see it and when they can see it, all this craziness. Like, TLC, you got too damn big for your britches, yo. Got too big for your britches. It's crazy. So, before we go, we got something from Lizzie B.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Got something from Lizzie B. So we're going to put things on the polls. Lizzie B gifted one My Take on Reality membership. Let's give Lizzie B a little something. Appreciate you, Lizzie B. Give you a little something. Hold up. Wait a minute. I had to give Lizzie B her props. Thank you so much, Lizzie. And again, thank you so much for our Caramel Cuties. Everybody in the chat, hold it down for a player. Salute to Brittany, not Brittany, one of the mega mods who's not here, who just recently got married. Let's give Brittany, not Brittany, a couple hearts in the chat, yo, because she just got married. Homegirl she official. Brittany is official. So she living that life. You know what I mean? Let's give her some hearts in the chat. As congratulations. You know, she might be too good for us now because she marred. That's what's up. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. All your love, you guys support. We're gonna hold it down. We're gonna be doing a review of Sister Wives, of course. I'm gonna review Christine's book, and I will review Special Forces. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be an off the hook situation. So we got a lot of stuff to do, and I might even have to roll some more lives just so we can cover everything. I like these kind of formats because I get to talk to you guys, get some interaction. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with a player. I appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. As I always say, make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your family, and everybody who loves you and takes care of you. Don't forget anybody and don't leave them out. The funny thing is, just as a quick aside, I talk too damn much, I know. As a quick aside, one of the funniest things to me is that the people who we tend to rely on the most tend to be the most invisible people in our lives. These are the people we're so used to dealing with them and them being there for us. And too often we don't take the time to thank and acknowledge the contributions that they have in our lives. And that's very important because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't want to be a Kody, because that's one of the big complaints we all have about the observation with Kody and the wives that he abandoned and the kids that he abandoned. Those women were there with him, propping his ass up the whole time. You know, they were propping him up the whole time. But as soon as, you know, he got what he wanted as far as a partner, as soon as he received what he wanted as far as opportunity, job, money, so on and so forth, he forgot everybody who put him in the position where that he currently enjoys. So as we look at this show and we reflect on it, we got to make sure that we take care of the people who are taking care of us. You know, because again, those people, a lot of times they are invisible and they don't get the recognition they deserve. But just know that without those people, the quality of life that we have and that we enjoy would be lessened, and we wouldn't be able to enjoy everything that we have going on. So make sure you take care of your people, y'all. That's my take. I know I'm kind of long-winded on it. I just wanted to get that out there, though. But guys, that's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and